What's up, everybody, and welcome to the XP Podcast, episode 6 for Tuesday, April 5th. I'm one of your hosts, Mikey Z, also known as DJ Ike, and joining me, as always, the self-proclaimed proprietor of perseverance, aka the noob tubing master, the Birdman himself, Logan B. What's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? You know, that one-man RW NoobTube Master here. I gotta say, it's been a pretty good week. We have some good and bad news to come ahead, and as always, just like for the past 4 weeks, more grinding at Elden Ring.
What are you
How
at
about
now?
you, Mike? Me, I am at 52-hour mark now.
Hey,
I
that's
added
not
a
too bad.
ton of hours this week. I'll be talking about it more in a second, but yeah, I have some news to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, for myself, didn't really do anything this week. It was a middle week, Got done with GTA, Horizon, and all that. Now, so this week I didn't really have anything that I was doing. Just waiting on Star Wars. So, um, but had a good week at the gym. That's about it. How about you? Do you think? Oh, shit! I discovered a new energy drink again.
Ooh, energy! We should make like a little bell sound, ding 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 ding. New
Yeah,
energy drink.
energy supplement. So, you know about the ghost stuff?
Yeah, dude, I love the drink.
Yeah. Have you tried the Sour Patch Kids ones and the
Yep.
Warhead ones?
I tried the Sour Patch one,
Which one? Because there's two. There's the red berry and the blue raz.
dude. The blue Raz.
It's
I
fire.
was at
It's absolute fire.
So before I went to work, I think 2 weeks ago, I went to a gas station near me and I seen them in the cooler, and I'm like, no way. So I grabbed one of them, and I didn't think it was actually going to taste like the Sour Patch Kids. And man, it
Oh, they
tastes
nailed it.
exactly like Sour Patch Kids. Like it's exactly like them, and it is awesome. They are so good.
Yeah, there's also the red berry one I had yesterday. That's pretty good. But then the one I want to talk about is the sour watermelon Warhead one. That thing was something special, let me tell you. Dude, it was so good. If you ever get a chance to find it, it it's just good. What's crazy is I found it at like a podunk gas station that I just stop by on my way into work sometimes if I'm feeling tired. It's just like a podunk ass gas station, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And then they were like, "Hey, here's this like $4 energy drink." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Dude, I feel that because literally everywhere I go, my main energy drinks I like to drink is the G Fuel can. Only one flavor though, and that's the sour blue chug rug. That one's really good. Or now that ghost one, which I mean I've only seen that at one gas station ever. Which I hope it starts to spread out more, like G Fuel has. G Fuel still is very specific gas stations. Um, but yeah, no, I want to try more. Personally, though, I know I'm not gonna like that Warhead flavor. I don't like watermelon, and that's where it kind of dies down for
Mm.
me. I don't really like, but I do want to try the red Sour Patch Kids. That sounds super good.
Yeah, it was good. It was of the three I had this week, it was the least good one. Least good one. It was the lowest tiered one, I guess, but it's still really good. Alright. Anything else off energy drinks? It seems like
Have
we
you
are.
been drinking any Celsius? Any of the
No, but
Celsius?
actually, Peyton is on her way to Costco right now to give me another pack.
Oh shit! Okay.
I don't think it's come
Oops.
with.
Said too early.
I don't think it comes with any interesting flavors or anything like that. I think it's just the same three, but
Oh okay.
it's pretty good stuff. Like it's not amazing or anything. Like I don't drink it because like I super enjoy it. I drink it because it's a decent flavor and it gets me the energy and it's the cheapest way to do it, honestly. So
Wait,
you
can I? I'm gonna put a note in here real quick. I don't understand why people like Bang energy drinks. They are horrible. I have
um
tried 6 different flavors. I've
I
liked one.
I used to love bangs, and then I realized that the way they try to make it sweet is what makes it terrible. Try Rain,
Dude,
Reign.
now Rain is great.
Yeah,
I do
Rain's
like Rain.
fantastic. Yeah, Bangs, they are too sweet. I don't like them. Anything, they're not actually like sweet. They just have like that artificial sweetness flavor to it, and that's the reason why I don't like it.
Dude, literally, well, here's the thing. With most energy drinks, I've always liked the blue flavors. I like blueberry and raspberry. Those are really good flavors. That is the only energy drink I've ever tried that has had the grossest blueberry or raspberry flavor of all time. I also tried the strawberry lime. That was so gross. I bought two of them and I had to push myself to drink both of them.
You want to talk
They
about
were
crappy?
gross.
The fucking Coke one. Whoops. Yeah. Well, we're going early this week.
Oh, the Coke coffee one? Yeah, dude, that was
oh, not
weird.
not coffee, just the regular Coke flavored one.
Oh, really? I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever tried that one.
it's
Oh, wait, are you
gross.
talking about the Miami Cola?
Yeah.
That one actually wasn't bad. I don't know. It was okay. It was weird.
Sorry, Peyton
Are you
walked in.
still there,
Yeah,
Mike?
sorry,
Sorry.
Peyton.
Okay.
Peyton walked in and told me she was leaving. So, all right. Just like always, before we get heavy into the show, we have to ask a couple questions. I came up. Well, not okay. That's a lie. I saw it on the internet, but I thought this would be a cool one. I'm hoping you've played, but I know you've played one of these games. I'm hoping you played the other one game. But I want to talk with who would win in a fight, Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank.
So I'm not gonna lie. My opinion with this one isn't gonna be that good because I've never played a Jak and Dexter game. I have played the Dexter specific game on PSP,
By the way, it's
but
Daxter.
Daxter.
You're
Okay.
throwing
Yeah,
you're throwing E's at me, man. It's an A.
yeah, Daxter. I've only played the Daxter game on PSP. Never played a Jak and Daxter game, but I played a lot of the Ratchet and Clank, so I do know that for a fact. Um, just from the little bit I've seen of Jak and Daxter, I would say Ratchet and Clank would beat them personally. What do you think?
Saying coming from a guy who's played both of these series, I played a lot more Ratchet than I have Jak. But to be fair, there's only been 3 main title Jak games, and said then the one Daxter game. Ratchet and Clank wipes the floor with these guys. Like, I'm not gonna say the Ratchet and Clank are better characters because Jak is actually a really really good character, but I mean the first Ratchet game was a 3D platformer with barely any shooting or anything like that. And then the second game and third game becomes more open world with more action games, but like he's never like fully stocked and loaded like Ratchet is. Like Ratchet at any time can bust out 12 different guns, a combination of flamethrowers, rocket launchers. Um, he's got gravity guns. He's got guns that'll make it dance. He's got anything. Like he's so fully loaded. Like I don't think on a core character level, like Ratchet's more powerful or anything than Jak is. Like Jak's actually a pretty cool and powerful character within his universe, but like Ratchet just has too much stuff that he can do. Like there's a gazillion weapons that he can use and different abilities that he can use that Jak just doesn't have access to. So I agree with your answer, but I differ in the way I came to it.
Yeah, as much as I would like to give an opinion on Jak and Daxter, I just I don't know. I don't really know much about them. I've never played any of the games. I've always wanted to, and they are on the PlayStation Store to buy all of them. I've seen them on sale quite a bit, but I don't know. It's never really caught my eye. But yeah, just saying, just like the little bit of knowledge I have from seeing like some videos and playing the Daxter game on the PSP, Ratchet Clank, yeah, they just have the arsenal and he has the skills, and then he just has so many different equipment and abilities that just like yeah, they would. I think they would completely wipe the floor if there was a fight.
Talking about you wanting to play them, in June you might be able to play all of the games for one price, but we'll talk about that shortly. Next question is something I just found floating around the internet, and I think it was on TikTok that I saw this, but it was in what order do you get dressed in coming out of the shower? And this guy's answer insulted me, honestly. So I wanted to get your answer. In what order do you get dressed in coming out of the shower?
Oh, underwear first, then pants, and then shirt if there is a shirt in there.
Okay, see, I'm backwards. I'm underwear, shirt, because that's like my normal go-to when I'm just like hanging out in my house. I don't really wear pants if I'm just hanging out in the house. But yeah, so it's underwear, shirt, then pants, then obviously socks, then shoes. This guy goes, well, he got asked the question. I don't remember what the TikToker's name was, but he comes at me with socks first, and I was like, fuck off. There is no way someone puts on socks first.
Wait, you put what?
I don't
Who
do
puts
anything.
socks on after taking a shower? Like right out of taking out a shower. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put socks on.
Socks was the
What?
first things that he said, and I was so
Hmm.
disturbed. That's what I said. Like, it actually like irritated me and disturbed me to a point. I'm like, who puts socks on first? So I was just,
Yeah, that's strange. I I don't understand that. That's so different. I guess is the word to say.
well, I mean, I don't even know if difference. I think that's too nice of a term. Like, I honestly think
Yeah.
this guy has a problem. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong that he should see somebody with, because like that's just not what human beings do.
I mean, especially like when you get out of the shower, like your feet is still like you could dry it as much as you want, but it's still gonna be wet, you know?
That's
And you're
like,
putting on socks.
yeah, that's like
Like
your
that is
hair. Like,
so ugh.
like you don't put a hat on straight out of the shower. You'll let your hair dry a little bit, right?
Yeah, that would be gross if you
Yeah, I
did
mean,
that. Like, ugh.
you would take it off, it'd be matted, it would look terrible. But yeah, so honestly, yeah, if for some reason you're out there, sock guy first, or any of you put socks on, please go get help. Please talk to somebody about your problems, because we would much appreciate you fixing yourself in the grand scheme of things.
Ugh.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the XP Podcast, our weekly video game and pop culture news podcast where two, sometimes three guys sit down and talk about all the video game news stories and happenings inside and out of the video game world. We post a new episode each and every Tuesday so you can listen to it throughout your work week. You can find us on most of the popular podcasting services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more to come. If you enjoy what we're doing here, please support us on our Patreon, where you can be a part of our weekly discussions and give us your opinions on everything we talk about and everything we don't. You'll also be able to find all of our uploads there, along with any exclusive episodes we may post. Links for that, as always, are in the description down below. If you don't have any money to send our way, don't worry. We still love and appreciate you for listening to us and being a part of our growing community. As always, we'd like to take this time to thank our platinum members. That Mr. Logan Leffler, thank you as always for being a part of our platinum membership group, and we hope that you are enjoying the content that we are making. If for some reason you want to see our shiny faces in HD, well, I'm sorry, you still can't because we're still working on it, but you can go over to our YouTube channel where you can get this show and all of our shows in full video format. If you do, please don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you can be aware of everything we post when we decide to post it. With all that out of the way, let's get into our show today. In the news, PlayStation finally unveils the Spartacus rumors and the new PlayStation Plus. Breath of the Wild 2 gets delayed, E3 is a goner, and much, much more. Then, in our point of the show, we'll be talking about Battle Royale and if it's here to stay or not. But before we get to all that, it's time for What You've Been Doing, where we catch up on all the things pop culture that we've been doing, whether that be gaming, TV shows, movies, books, and comics. It doesn't matter to us, because we're all nerds. With that, Logan, what you been doing, my man?
Well, as usual, this week, I promised last week I would try to play Wolf Among Us, and I also promised I would play more GTA 5. Well, that was a lie. I ended up not doing either of those. I've been every day I get home, all I've been thinking about is like, man, maybe if I do this one thing in Elden Ring, maybe I could put a couple hours in. Nope. By the time I get done, it's already the end of the night. I have to go to bed, go to work the next day, and it just kept happening over and over and over again. Um, definitely made some progress this week. Um, I'm not really hitting a wall as more as and I am now kind of lost. I so let's see. I finally beat the two got through the three giants and beat the horsemen at the gate, got into the city, and which is the capital and everything, and that was horrifying. That it was like, I mean, it was like I was sweating. Like it was insane. Like it was nonstop enemies, 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 enemies. And like I would get super far and I'd be like looking for, the next spot to, save and, be safe. Nope, there was none. So I had to basically speed run it at a certain point. Like I died like 3 times on this run, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna speed run it. I'm gonna run past them, get my souls, and just keep running. And then if I find an enemy I know I'm not gonna be able to defeat, I just book it. I just keep running. And I ran into like a ton of these. There was like so many nights in the city, and these nights are those one nights that when you were on the. It was like way back when I was playing Elden Ring and I was in the chat with you on PlayStation. I remember that one night I kept saying that kept destroying me. Well, there's like 10 of those nights in this city, and they literally destroy me. Like I'll defeat like 3 of them, and then I'll already almost be out of health, like out of flasks, and I ain't getting any health back for some reason. I guess I ain't killing enough enemies in the fast enough time to get my flask back. So I only had like 1 flask left, and I still have not found a safe place. So I just said I'm just gonna speed run through this now, and I'm just gonna find the next save point. I finally did, and then I finally now have gotten to a point where I got to this tree. I fought a ghost of the first Elden Lord, which kind of confused me. So I defeated a ghost of an Elden Lord, which I thought was weird. And then I actually got to the next story boss, which was the Omen King. uh, I surprisingly, it only took me like 3 or 4 times to beat him, and then now I'm at a kind of at a standstill. Uh, I finally figured out how to get to the Mountain of Giants, which took me a little bit to get there because I was kind of lost. And then I'm also lost on the fact that I still have not defeated 2 of the main story bosses that are back in the previous sections. I don't know where to find them. One of them is in an academy. Never seen the academy. I've been looking everywhere. I will go to the bonfire, I'll follow where the light tells me to go, and I just have no idea where these bosses are. I watch all these videos and people are fighting them, and I'm like, how do you get there? Which at this point, I might look it up. I wanted to find him naturally, which I have been doing, which has been really fun. But I am so lost in trying to find that red wolf and then the dude that's in the academy. I still haven't fought him either. I've been trying to find them, but I have no idea where they are. And I'm 52 hours in the game, and I've only defeated 4 story bosses so far. So I've been trying to find the next story, like the 2 story bosses that are in the previous section, because I want to level up more. I'm already almost at level 100. I'm 93, I believe, in the game now. I'm getting some super good weapons, and I also want to fight the boss to where I can respec, because I am definitely going to respec my character. I'm starting to figure out what I want to be, and I've definitely put some points in the wrong areas a lot in the game because I thought I wanted to go one direction, but then I'm like, no, I kind of want to go this direction. So now I'm going to have to go back, defeat this one boss that's in the academy, and then I can respec my character, which is what I'm going to do because I have a build in mind where I'm going to basically be a mainly strength, endurance, and HP character, and maybe I'll put also quite a bit into faith. Which, by the way, I did get that weapon finally that you sent me, the desk poker, and that has been my main for the past 10 hours. Like
You're
I
welcome.
have been using that weapon so much. The only issue with that weapon I have is the ability takes like 5 years to use because you have to initially put the fire in front of you, and then you have 2 moves. You can use a heavy hit, which does an explosion around you, or you hit it with the basic hit and it makes a line of fire. It's kind of hard to use in a boss fight because they like are already on top of you by the time you could do the ability. So that's the only issue I have with it. But the weapon in general is also super strong. I have it at +9 now because I've been looking at bosses that you could defeat to get the bell bearings to where you could buy smithing stones. So I've been kind of building up my weapons a lot. Now I'm at like +9 on the desk poker, and that thing is insane. I do want to switch to Radon's weapon though because those things are stupid. But the issue is I have to be 39 in strength, and I'm only 35 or 36 right now. So I need to level that up. I think what I'm going to do, yeah, is be a strength, faith, and endurance and health. That's going to be my main things I'm going to do from now on. But yeah, not to get on a whole tangent like I just did. Yeah, Elden Ring's been really great. I'm almost at 60 hours. Um, Again, I might actually make a mid review, or I mean, supposedly it says I'm 50% through the game, so maybe I'll just wait till I can fully beat it, which I am pretty close to beating it. So, well, decently close to beating it, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
I just think
yeah.
just hold off and then do an in-depth review. We'll record a special episode.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on DJ to finish Horizon because I've been done with that for a hot second.
You might have to do it without him. Who knows?
I hope not.
But yeah. But other than that, not any other games, but I did watch more of a show, but I didn't watch a ton more of it. On Monday, I started watching more Ozark. Been loving that show a lot. It's super good, but I haven't really gotten past the first season yet. Again, like I watched like 4 episodes on Monday, was really enjoying it, but I kind of got stuck on Elden Ring for this week, so I yeah haven't really done much else other than Elden Ring and watch 4 episodes of Ozark. Um, but I am really excited for this week, and literally, well, either if you want to wait till tomorrow midnight or Tuesday, I can't wait for Lego Star Wars, which is also probably what I'm going to be talking about a lot next week. So,
I'm guessing you're
what about
buying.
you, Mike?
I'm guessing you're buying it digitally.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen that. This isn't a news thing, but I'll put it a quick thing. There are literally discs that are selling out, like just the like, especially the digital deluxe editions. They literally have sold out of those pretty much. Most stores now, you can't even buy the physicals for the digital deluxe edition, which is crazy. um, I'm guessing they just didn't want to make a ton of those, but I was gonna get it digitally anyways because I don't really care to go to the store to pick it up, and it's also technically cheaper because you don't really pay the taxes like you do with buying a disc. So, because I only spent like $69.99 to get the digital deluxe edition compared to having to pay $80 at GameStop or whatever to get it.
You got the
So
deluxe. What comes in the deluxe? What made you want to get
it's
it?
10. Oh, I wanted to get the deluxe because they come up with a bunch of cool characters I really like. I mean, they're having it's only $10 than the original edition, and I personally got it because they're gonna have Mandalorian, which I can't wait to play him, and now with the new gameplay and all that, that gets me really excited. And since there's these different classes and everything, I'm sure he's gonna have his own really cool abilities. And it comes with a lot of cool characters. I mean, for first thing, since I pre-ordered, I get the Elite Trooper pack, which comes with like my favorite stormtroopers, like the Death Trooper, the Sand Trooper from Rogue One. There's a couple other ones like the Flame Trooper that's from what was it? Mandalorian season one, and then some other troopers as well. But that, and then it comes with the Rogue One pack, comes with the Mandalorian season one pack, comes with Han Solo the movie pack, and then later on they're going to be adding season two of Mandalorian, which is going to have Ahsoka Tano with the double lightsabers. Also, I can't believe I can't remember his name, but the director from the Mandalorian, he's gonna have the dark saber. I'm sure. I guarantee he's gonna have the dark saber, which is gonna be super cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think I mean I personally I think it's worth it because it's $10 and you're getting all those character packs, and I'm excited to since there's open worlds and stuff you can do, and you can replay the campaign over again with different choices to make. I think it's gonna be really cool to have those packs because I mean, especially with the free roam and that there's going to be bounty hunter missions. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to be Mandalorian doing some bounty hunter missions? That's going to be super cool.
Yeah,
So,
a bunch of us are gonna have to
yeah.
pay $10 for it, but
Yeah, I mean, it's $10. I mean, again, I think everybody's worth and what they want to spend on that. I
yeah,
mean,
I
it's ten
know.
bucks and I get bonus content, so I think it's worth it.
I'm just gonna be going to Target to get it because they offered a $10 gift card, so I can buy this game for $40. So, or
Yeah.
$50, 49.99. So that's where I would be at. So, my week has been pretty diverse. I've done a lot of stuff, not really focusing on one thing or the other because I said I had kind of like an off week. So, I finished off the platinum to Horizon, so I got that this week. That was cool. That was pretty exciting. And then I just kind of played that for probably 5 or 6 more hours, just messing around, doing some of the end game side quests, and just exploring the world to the fullest, doing some of the heavy, the high level, uh, just like hunts. Not really hunts, but like you go out in the world, you find like a high level creature, like some of the Apex variants. And let me tell you what, man, there's just one new um monster type in the game, a machine type, and he is a pain in the ass to fight. Especially the Apex version. He has so many weapons. And it's not like the Thunderjaw, or the Thunderjaw you can remove the weapons pretty easily and then use them against them. This guy, you cannot remove any of his weapons. You can only remove his armor to get underneath some of his exposed parts. That, like, like the power cores for his weapons. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can remove one of his weapons, but one of his weapons is on the tail, and he's a very aggro enemy, so he doesn't really disengage ever. So he's always just like staring straight at you. So it's a rough fight, man. It is a rough fight. I have every single skill unlocked, and I was still dying. And I have out of the 6 tiers that you can equip weapons on, or the 6 slots, I have 5 of them all legendaries. So it's It's rough. But, then I played episode 3 of The Wolf Among Us. So Peyton and I are getting through that. Once again, Logan's got to catch up. And then let's see what else. Oh, I did a little bit more on GTA, but not too much. But then yesterday, I was going through Friday, I was going through my list. I was going through some of my games and all that I've gotten through PlayStation Plus or just bought in general. And I found this game that I was like, huh, I love that franchise, but I never played that game because I just forgot about it when it came out. So I have started, and I am thoroughly enjoying Shadow of the Tomb Raider finally.
Yeah, I seen that the other day. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is he playing Shadow Tomb Raider? I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
I love the first two Tomb Raider games. I love Tomb Raider 2013, and I loved Rise of the Tomb Raider. But for some reason, when Shadow came out, I think it came out. It came out in 2018. I believe it came out very close to like God of War and Detroit, and then Spider-Man came out at the end of the year, and then Red Dead came out that same year too. So 2018 was a busy year for gaming. So I believe that's why I just never got around to playing it because it's just I missed it when it came out and out of sight, out of mind. So, but now that I'm sitting down and I'm playing it, man, I shit's good.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it like not long. I've always wanted to get through 'cause I did the other Tomb Raider games a lot, especially the first one. That game was amazing. I beat that game twice, and it was super good.
Oh, I think the
And
first one's
then,
better than Rise.
oh yeah, like 100% better. I think it's even better than the Rye or what's this? Oh, Shadow. That's the third one. Yeah, I mean, definitely way better than Rise. I think Tomb Raider One just like nailed what it did, and I feel like Rise didn't do enough to add to what the formula already had. I still really liked Rise. I beat it and really enjoyed it.
I
And
think it
then I
went.
think, yeah, again, I think a lot of stuff happened, and Shadow Tomb Raider just kind of like came out, and then like I feel like I heard nothing about it, and like nothing really, like it didn't catch my eye like the other two did. So it was really weird. I do want to beat it. I do own it on Xbox. I just never beat it. I want to though.
Well, okay, so I think Rise, if we want to go into like a little bit of a retrospective, real quick, it got too open. Like there were a lot of open areas, open level designs, open other things. Like it's obviously not an open world game, but I think it got too open for my liking, and that's what just kind of derailed my enjoyment of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's also mainly, I think, even for Shadow, this kind of goes with that too. Is I just think the story and the setting and just everything that happens in the Tomb Raider, the first one, is just so much more interesting. I mean, it's literally them trying to find this, treasure, but then their ship crashes, and then all this super cool story stuff happens, and it's like all the characters were really interesting, all the story moments were interesting, and then you just have Rise, and I don't know. I think that's where I think the other two kind of like fall off for me, is because it's just her actually being the Tomb Raider, and the first one was so great because it was her finally becoming the Tomb Raider. I thought that was more interesting than the other two. I will say, yeah, it did get a little bit more open, but I also feel like they play the other two way more safe than the first game did. Like it's just like she's a Tomb Raider. Here's a bad guy trying to stop you from getting the treasure or is stolen the treasure. Go do something about it. When the other ones were about like the first one was about like survival and becoming the Tomb Raider and having all these cool characters and some characters dying and stuff like that. Like it was just way more interesting than these other two.
I will
I
say,
think that's why I never.
so far I'm a couple hours into Shadow, and I'm enjoying the story way more than I did in Rise. Now, saying that, Rise doesn't have a bad story in my opinion. It's just not as cool or as interesting as Tomb Raider's was, because you were discovering everything for the first time, like you said, and there was, there was the characters, there was the captain, who I can't remember his name, started with an R, I can't remember his name, but he was the one guiding them, and then you had all your friends, and like they were seeing what Lara was becoming, like you said. And something that's interesting is this reboot trilogy pulls something very similar to the Spider-Man trilogy. Is like the whole thing, from what I can tell, is actually a setup to you becoming the Tomb Raider in general. So even in Rise and Shadow, I don't think they want you to feel like the Tomb Raider fully, even though I kind of think you do. But
Yeah, I agree with that.
and so
I,
far,
I
I
think
think
I
this.
think the new one does more survival things too to it, like the whole mud mechanic. I thought that was really cool. I think they
Oh,
add more survival stuff to the newest one
on
compared to
Shadow,
Rise.
yeah,
Yeah, because Rise didn't have a lot of survival mechanics like the first one did. So it was like I don't know, it was just like a adventure shooter game. That's what Rise was to me. And then you have this one and they have a lot more survival mechanics and like like fighting the panther and stuff like that, like and then the whole mud mechanic where you can hide in the mud and shit like that, sorry, was really cool. So I think that's interesting. That's
why'd you
why I do
why'd you say
think
sorry?
Rise, because I don't know why.
I was like, we're
I said
32,
shit.
we're 32 minutes
I
in. You
know,
can
I
say
know.
whatever
um
the f you want.
but That's fair. But yeah, no, I think the new one does add that. So that's why I do want to go back and beat. I do want to go beat that one. Especially when they did. I don't know if you noticed, but it runs really smooth for a reason. It's because they actually did come out with a unofficial next gen patch
Yeah,
to those
yeah,
games
yeah,
where you can play in like the highest mode and have 60 FPS,
yeah.
which is probably helps it a lot because when I played it, it was still on the old patch and the only way to play 60 FPS was to play in the performance mode, which was like 900p 60. It was really ugly. But now that they added that patch, it even more makes me want to go back and play it because, yeah, I mean, the Tomb Raider games are awesome. So, and I do want to beat that game. Someday, sometime, especially when we hit a dead spot, I do want to beat that game.
Like I said, so I think I'm a dual combo this and Star Wars for the first. This won't take me that long. It's like a 15-20 hour game. I'm not looking to 100% in. I'm not looking to do all this stuff. I'm just looking to get in the game, explore what I want to explore, and beat the game and move on out from it. So interesting enough, it does have an 80% on OpenCritic.
That's
So
awesome.
so it was received pretty well. Hold on, I'm looking at the other ones. I know Rise was received a lot better, which is annoying. Yeah, Rise is at an 86.
What was the first one?
I'm
The Tomb
looking.
Raider rate at? Was it like a 90?
I'm looking. Hold on. Well, I don't want the definitive edition. I just want the regular edition. Oh my god. Oh, that was interesting. Dude, this thing is not working with me. Um, well, I'll go on to Metacritic and I'll figure that out. But anyway, so it is the
I'll look it
low.
up while you're talking.
It is the lowest scored game on in the reboot trilogy, but so far I'm enjoying it second most. It says Rise was fine. I didn't. Rise's gameplay was really good in my opinion, but I just didn't like you said. I didn't attach myself to the characters as much. I didn't find them to be as interesting or as good. 86.
Yeah, 86. That's surprising, but it's still good though. That's still really good.
87 on PS3.
Interesting.
Apparently, it was 1 point better.
Than both the PC and 360 version.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but then the PS4 was 2 points less. That's 85.
Interesting.
Uh, man, that 48 on the movie in 2018, I think that's a little unfair. I love that movie.
Still haven't seen it.
Really? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I love Tomb Raider to death, which is why it surprised me so much when I was looking through my list. I'm like, that's why I never played that game. I just completely missed it. And I mean, I grew up playing the old games on the PS1 for obviously different reasons. I was a little boy back then, experiencing things for the first time. But now I play the games because like it's actually a good story and interesting characters, and well, I don't think it's that. There's nothing amazing about the gameplay. I think a lot of other games have better shooting, better climbing mechanics, better traversal. I just like the character of Lara Croft. So anyway, other than that, started watching a TV show at night with the girl. Well, not started. I've seen it 3 times all the way through, but it came on HBO Max, and you're gonna shrug your shoulders at this, but One Tree Hill Part 4. Here it comes.
One Tree Hill.
Yeah, I've seen it three
What is that?
times. You don't know what One Tree Hill. Come on, get out of here, man. You grew up in the late. I guess you grew up in. Yeah, you grew up in the early 2000s. You don't know what One Tree Hill is? It was every girl's like crack back then.
Yeah, never heard of it. Not
I've
even once.
seen it 3 times through, all 9 seasons. So I've watched 27 seasons of this show, and now I'm watching it again because Peyton wanted to. So I was like, yeah, sure. I don't have that much to do right now at night. So, and then lastly, so I was just kind of piddling around the house trying to figure out things to do. I started reading again, the Ultimate Spider-Man. Started from the beginning. So I read a couple of his books. Um, so yeah, just kind of doing some random shit this week. Anything else you got for us?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well that was what you've been doing, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know in the comments and on our Patreon what you guys do throughout the week. We'll be really interested to see. Moving on now, we're gonna go to around the point where we go around the video game world and give you all the news that we think is applicable. Starting off, the biggest one, PlayStation finally unveiled the quote-unquote Spartacus, and they named it PlayStation Plus again. So the PlayStation is doing the Xbox things, but they don't know how to name shit.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So, but it actually does make a little bit of sense. They wanted to combine the things. Let me run through everything that you get in each packages, and then we can talk about it, okay?
Alrighty.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, PlayStation Plus is a subscription service that PlayStation does. It gives you benefits, and it's also required for online play, unfortunately. That's annoying, but it is what it is. And for years now, they've had both that and PlayStation Now, and people have been very confused on what's what you get with what does what. So finally, they've gone through and combined everything together, and here is what you get. Starting at the lowest tier, the PlayStation Plus Essential tier is exactly what you have right now. If you have PlayStation Plus, if you're a part of PlayStation Plus, then you will be automatically rolled into this thing when it launches in June. That was a weird sentence. Hold on, that's awkward.
Tough.
She knows I'm doing the podcast. Forgot to turn that on silent. Uno momento. There we go. Now that is on silent. So, yes, PlayStation Plus Essential will roll you right in when it launches in June. You get the same 2 monthly downloadable games, discounts, save games, cloud storage, and then access to all online multiplayer games. So you don't have to do anything. If you don't want anything to do anything, they will automatically include you in this package. The first new tier, PlayStation Plus Extra, will include a catalog of around 400 PS4 and PS5 games that can be downloaded at any time while you're a member of this tier. They will include first-party and third-party games, but no new exclusives will be included at launch. Duh. It will cost $14.99 monthly, $39.99 quarterly, and then the real price, $99.99 yearly. And the final tier, PlayStation Plus Premium, gives you everything in the other tiers along with 340 plus games, including PS1, PS2, PSP games, for streaming and download. And unfortunately, only PS3 games will be available on streaming. Thank you, cell processing. You suck. This tier will be available for $17.99 monthly, $49.99 quarterly, and the real price of $119.99 yearly. Logan, let's go with you. Let's start with you. What is your immediate reaction to this?
So let me start with the positive. If you are a PlayStation only person, like you only own a PlayStation, you don't own PC or Xbox, I do think at least the extra is worth the value. I will admit that because it is basically just Game Pass. You're going to get a ton of games for $15 a month. It's great. It's good. And I think that's probably the only positive I'm going to have out of this because I think it's really good for that. But after that fact, the bad is I think the value is pretty garbage. For first thing, you have to pay $18 a month for backwards compatibility, which I think is stupid. It is so dumb. Secondly, PS3 is still stream only. That's kind of dumb. I mean, I will never play them because it's like I don't think a lot of people have good enough internet to really play it. And with their streaming service, from what I've already tried out, it's very hit or miss. One day it works fine, next day not so much. That's kind of frustrating, especially when you're going to be paying $18 a month for something like that. I also am really this brings up a good point because I've been watching some videos on it. They also specify that some games will be you could download and some you had to play stream, which means I guarantee out of the what was it? They said like 300 and something extra games with the premium. I would say about 300 of those are well, let's see. Yeah, probably 300 of those are streamable and 40 of them are downloadable. That is a guess, but people have been bringing up that point and they aren't really talking about it. They're trying to hide that under the rug. I think that most of those games are going to be streaming only, and you're paying $18 a month for that. That's stupid. That is so dumb, and everyone is pretty much roasting them for it because it's like, really, you're paid for first thing, you're putting backwards compatibility behind a paywall for the first thing. Secondly, PlayStation 3 games are still just streamable, which I guarantee 90% of those games that are in the premium that they say there's 300 of, most of them are probably just PS3 games that you could stream. That's dumb. Um, Also, and I get this, they don't want to come out with their games day one, but you gotta understand when you're comparing two different services, you gotta admit Game Pass has the value compared to this. Like you're getting EA games, you're getting all the Xbox games, you're getting all the backwards compatibility games as well. You don't. You also get games day one, not only exclusives but other games, which I'm sure PlayStation will have a few, but they won't actually have their own games be day one. It'll be probably third party and etc. that might show up as day one, but you literally don't get them day one. So you're paying $15 and you're getting less value than what you would be getting if you got the Xbox Game Pass. Game Pass comes with all this for a lower price. And you're getting day one games and you're guaranteed to get, I mean, it's just better value. Like, and that's where PlayStation, I think, is just, I mean, they're clearly they don't care. They're just doing this so they can make some extra money, which great. They're gonna make some good money. And again, as I said, if you only have a PlayStation, I think the extra is good value. If you don't own most of those games, it's a good value. Like, like especially if you just get a PlayStation and you want games right off the bat, extra is gonna be worth it. It's $15 a month. But you don't get day one games. And that means you'll probably have to wait months, probably a whole year, guarantee it, to get most of the games that they come out with. Um, and that's just dumb. And then you got premium, which is basically just a paywall to keep you from playing PlayStation 2 classics, PlayStation 1 classics, PSP classics. And if you want to stream the PS3 games, I guess that's, for the small market of people. So, yeah. I I'm not really a big fan of this. I mean, I kind of didn't believe when people kept saying that they were going to make PS3 backwards compatibility, like they were going to make it like where you could just download and play them. Yeah, no, it ain't going to happen. So, yeah. I'm curious what PS1, PS2 and PSP games are going to add. I think especially like yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious on that. And I'm also curious since they haven't really talked about it if I could just buy them separately instead of having to get the premium. I haven't really looked up that question or seen if they answered anything like that. But if it is only behind that paywall, yeah, I would not. I don't think premium's worth it. I think that's stupid. I mean, heck, if I really wanted to, I could buy this app on my Xbox Series X and literally just download the PS2, PS1, and PSP games on there and just play them on there. And guess what? That's free. Or the 3 or 4, maybe $10 charge to buy the app. So yeah, I think this is dumb. I think it's really dumb, and clearly they're not trying to take a risk with this, but they're clearly getting a lot of backlash, especially with the fact that backwards compatibility is behind a paywall. So, what do you think, Mike?
So I have two main parts about this. I have what they gave us and my reactions to that, and then I have my indecisiveness based off the fact that we know very little in the grand scheme of things about what this is. Um, First and foremost, we don't know what these games are going to be, so I'm holding off a massive amount of my reaction to it, especially the premium tier of what games are they included. Like you said, we don't know what games are going to be in there, what it's going to be like, which ones are downloadable and which ones are streaming. So until that comes out, until we really know the breadth of what is in here, what are these 400 PS4 and PS5 games? I know they've announced some of them, but are we pretty much getting everything, all the first party games after a year or so of launch, like you said? You know, are we getting God of War, Horizon? I know we're getting God of War and those games day one, but is it going to be like, okay, after 6 months to a year, anything that we come out with is going to be on this service continually? If that's the case, that's cool. If that's not the case, then that's not the case. I do want to kind of rebut some of the value. Is I think people focus way too much on the monthly, and if you're like me with Xbox, you pay that $14.99 for like 1 month and then you cancel it when you're done playing the things. But like for someone like me who is more ingrained in the PlayStation Plus ecosystem and the PlayStation ecosystem in general, the yearly price is what I've always paid attention to. Like PlayStation Plus now, you can have a monthly, quarterly, or yearly purchase. I've never ever once bought a single month. I just buy the year and it recoups every, I think, July. So if you focus on that, the value is actually, in my opinion, pretty good if you are ingrained in the PlayStation ecosystem, if you're going to stay ingrained in the ecosystem, if you play these games on your PlayStation, like you said, if you only have PlayStation and you don't really care about any of the Xbox or Nintendo stuff, you're looking at, for the premium, $10 a month. And you break it down, $120 a year. So you get all this stuff for $10 a month, as said, with the caveat of that being, if this is, the only thing that you're going to do, if you don't really care about anything else. If you are going to opt into, maybe 3 months out of the year or something like that, or, whatever, so you say you buy a random month in February because something comes out that you want, that you're paying attention to, then I don't think that's a very good price. But also, I don't fully believe that most people do this. Most people that I know, most people that I talk to, have PlayStation Plus yearly, and it recoups every single year, and that's what they pay for. I don't really believe people pay the monthly price if they ever plan on having this for longer than 1 month, because that makes no sense. That's very financially stupid, in my opinion. Like, if you tell yourself, I'll have this for 1 month, that's fine. But if you just put yourself on 1 month and it recurs every single month and you're paying over twice as much money for this than you could be. $18.99 per month, that's $8 times 12. That's 64 extra dollars per year that you could be saving. So, I don't know many people that do the month in, the month out. I mean, if Xbox had a yearly subscription, I would do that instead of paying the $14.99 here and there. So, that is my argument to the value. I think if you focus strictly on the monthly, yeah, it's not that great, because $14.99 is what Xbox Game Pass is. The highest tier is $3 more expensive than Xbox Game Pass. But if you go with the yearly option, what PlayStation has always done with their PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus branding, they've broken it down through monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Well, maybe they didn't have the quarterly, maybe that's new, but I knew they had monthly and yearly. That's only $10 a month. If you are someone who's going to stay in the ecosystem and that's what you want, I think that value is very good. You get 700 games access to you at any time for $10 a month. I think that's hard to argue with the value in that retrospect. Now, saying that, I will probably just opt into the extra tier because I said I have no clue what games they are, and you know me, I'm not a oh, what's it called? Fucking when you play old
Backwards
games.
compatibility
Yeah,
person.
I'm not a backwards compatibility guy. I played the games back in the day that I like. Now, if there is a game that I want, I might bump up for that month. I'll have to see how that works. I don't know if I could change that at all. That would have to be some minutia and some back end stuff on PlayStation. But so I think that's my overall. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. This is exactly what I said it was going to be last week. This is just a combining of their two services into one service. If you don't want to do anything with this, they'll just wrap you straight into the essential and you continue on with your day like nothing ever happened. If you are the, I think 12 million subscribers on PlayStation Now, if you are those, now you have to decide what tier you want to be into. The premium is the same price as both PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now combined together that we have now. So if you want that, they will immediately add you into the premium. You can continue on with your life. If you don't care about some of the older games that they offer and you just want some of the newer games and what I would say a pretty large catalog of 400 games of modern video games, then you can drop it down to just $100 a year. So I don't know, math. It's 100 times 12. I don't know. It's something. What is that? 100 times 12, Logan. Do it.
Fuck. 100.
It's like $8.99, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about that.
It's like $8 or $9 a month then to get 400 games. Like, I think that's pretty good, in my opinion.
Again, on what I was saying, I think it's worth it, especially if you don't own a lot of games like PS4 and PS5 games. I think it's worth it. I'm not saying the extra is not worth it. That is good value. $15 a month for PS4 and PS5 games, and who knows what they're gonna add. I know they're gonna add a few of the PS5 games that came out. Like I know they said Spider-Man Miles Morales and what was the other game? Returnal.
So it's
That's
really
also
only
gonna be
like,
on there.
it's $8.
So
If you are going to be into it, it's $8 a month. Yeah, look at it from both perspectives. Like $14.99 is the least valuable proposition. If you can get this for $8.99 a month if you want to get and opt into the yearly subscription to it. It's like there's the low end and the people who want to go in month by month, or there's the people who are like, I'm in this ecosystem, I might as well stay in this ecosystem. So we're doing $100 a year, which that breaks down like $8 a month, something like that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, like basically again, if you right value or you mostly play on PlayStation, that's all you play on, I think it's good value. If you don't and you like own a PC or an Xbox, for example, I personally, obviously Xbox Game Pass is gonna have more value behind it. You're gonna get all those games, you're gonna get EA games, you're gonna get day one releases, you get backwards compatibility included, not a have to pay extra for backwards compatibility. And that's all included in the $15 a month. And that is better value. But yes, if you pay yearly, which I don't, and yeah, maybe you know a lot of people that do that, but I don't know a lot that pay yearly on their subscriptions. I personally pay monthly. So, and I'm not even looking, it doesn't even like, yeah, let's say you do have the money to pay yearly, then that's great. But still, I don't think even the premium's worth it because most of those are probably going to be streamed. I
Wait, you play
guarantee it.
monthly?
And I would, yeah,
Why?
yeah. Why would I pay yearly? I don't have $100 bank account to throw at PlayStation to pay yearly.
You're paying more money though if you pay
I
monthly.
am. You're right. And then if I want to cancel, and then boom, I can move on. And then whenever I want PlayStation Plus again, I just wait till people want to play games with me again. And I just turn it back on. I pay for it again.
That's fair, I guess.
That's why I pay monthly because then if when I do want to use it, I use it, and then when I don't, I just cancel it, and then I just wait till someone wants to do something, and I just buy it again.
Well,
And
there
it
you go.
doesn't.
My theory is
So
completely destroyed. You are the only person I've ever talked to who buys it monthly, like consistently over a term of more than 1 month at a time.
I mean,
So
well,
there you go.
put it
You're
this
the only
way, I
person I've ever
have.
talked to like that.
Well, I mean, let's see. That's not completely true because I have done it one time where I bought a yearly for PlayStation Plus, which wasn't bad. It's like what, $60? I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's still $60
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
wanted
see
to stay
that
into it.
wasn't bad. Yeah. I mean, I usually did that, but like especially for Xbox, I did that a couple times for like when they had it used to be just gold. I bought yearly $60 because that's not bad. I meant like $100. I don't usually have $100 to throw at a subscription to pay for you. Yes, it is worth it because you are going to be paying way less than what you'd be paying if you paid monthly. But then, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, if it's so good to the point where I know I'm not going to get rid of it, then I think yeah, I would pay yearly. But if it's something I don't know much about yet, like again, I don't know what games are going to be including. I don't even know if they're games I already have on Game Pass to the point where I just there's no point in subscribing to this in the first place because but who knows? Maybe they got some really cool games I have no idea about. I mean, again, Game Pass, it took me a while to want to subscribe to it because at first it had a lot of games I already owned and it wasn't that exciting. But the more and more it was out and they started to add a lot more cooler stuff and doing a lot more day one stuff, which I guarantee PlayStation is going to do day one stuff, but just not with their main exclusives. Like I'm sure they're gonna pay some third party at some point to add theirs day one, or there's gonna be some other games like Ubisoft that would be like they add their next Assassin's Creed or something like that, and they do that as a day one thing later down the line. Who knows? I'm sure there's gonna be those. It does kind of suck that the exclusives aren't going to be on your day one. I would be yacht and say this is worth it if it was day one for those games, which I get it. They don't want to do that. Obviously, they don't have as much money as Microsoft to throw down and come out with all their stuff day one. But hopefully, down the line, maybe a year or two, maybe they'll switch their mind because if they do that, the service would be beyond worth $15 a month, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm just not really excited about the whole premium thing. I think the premium is the dumbest thing ever. But heck, if people want to, either pay $18 a month or pay $120 yearly, they can get their backwards compatibility that should be coming with the extra tier, not a premium tier. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Well, I think that's one of the things that people have talked about, like all the tiers backwards. Like, should the backwards compatibility be the extra one, and then the PS4, PS5 games be the premium one? I personally don't really have an opinion on that too much because I just don't care about backwards compatibility, and I honestly don't believe a lot of people do. I think that's a very small percentage of the video game industry buy something or play something for the idea of backwards compatibility. Like of the 25 million Game Pass subscribers, or the people that play on Xbox, I would find it hard to believe that over 10%, if even that, really actually play these old games consistently and like that's the reason why they have it. It's an added benefit, but I really don't believe that it is a core tenement of people's gaming lives. Some of them are, yes. There is a majority out there that don't care about any of the new stuff coming out. Think it all sucks. Think Call of Duty is Call of Duty, Battlefield's Battlefield. Horizon's just another open world game. They don't care about these things. But that is a very small minority of what is an overall general bigger video game industry. So I think I lost the point there, but I'm just saying, like
I'm not going to say this stat is for a fact, but this is an old stat. But in 2017, okay, I know this is years ago, but over 50% of Xbox users use backwards compatibility. Over 50.
well, I'm sure they use it.
So, but that's
Yeah,
not a stat for
you.
today, but still it's the thing is I think backwards compatibility is important because if you want people to play your old classics, like for example, I never played God of War 1 and God of War 2 all the way through. I can't play it unless I go buy a PS3 or I find a magical disc laying around somewhere in some store. to buy for PS2. You know, like it's one of those things where I think it's great for people that never played those games. There are a lot of people that like to play classic games, and there's a lot of games that deserve that I think would be awesome to have on here. And there is quite a bit of people that, in my opinion, are kind of upset that like PS3 isn't going to be, something you can play backwards compatibility. I mean, you can, but you have to stream it, which is the stupidest thing ever. Like I will never touch that again. I just don't like streaming. Streaming, in my opinion, we still aren't there yet. Internet isn't that good yet. I don't think even the servers that they have most of the time aren't even good enough to be a constant drive to want to use cloud service. So I don't know. I think it's dumb, and I do think there are a lot of people who appreciate backwards compatibility, and they also appreciate when a company doesn't charge you more to play backwards compatibility. Like you shouldn't be putting it behind a paywall. But that's why always Xbox wins on that. You don't have to pay for Game Pass. You can literally just, if you have a disc at home and they have that as one of the backwards compatibility games, you just put it in your system and you play. Which I know PlayStation can't do that because there's actually a thing I read up on this, but basically PlayStations can't play CD audio files. Like if you put like this is important because like for example, if you had a PS2 disc and you tried to put it into your PS5, it wouldn't even be able to read it, no matter what. Like even if they did add backwards compatibility, they couldn't possibly do that because the disk drives they put into the PS5 don't read normal CD drives. I guess it's what they said, like for like audio and all that, which is confusing because I'm pretty sure you can put a DVD and play it on your PlayStation 5. I'm not sure, but that is what they said. So that's the reason why they can't do the whole Xbox thing where you can put a Xbox original game into your Series X and play it. I don't know why that is the way it is, but that's what I've heard, which isn't a big deal. But I do think you should at least allow. I will see again. I don't know if this is something they're doing that. Maybe they are going to add those games as a purchasable game on their marketplace. If they do that, I think I'll be fine with the premium. If people want to pay for the premium, great.
I don't think there's a
If I want
shot in
to
hell that they
buy
do that.
and if they don't, then great. Then another reason why I think it's dumb because it's like you're charging people for backwards compatibility. But that's where I think it's dumb. You're charging people extra. If it was in the $15 included with all those other games, great. But you're charging people extra to play PS3, PS2, PS1s and that's why a lot of people just go on their PC or on Xbox now, which there is a way you can download this app thing where you can literally put in all these classic games onto your system and you don't have to pay for shit for that. I know it's illegal, but who cares? Because I mean, if you're going to charge people to play some, a PS2 game, that's stupid. But that's why there's a lot of hate for the premium right now because it's kind of well deserved. You're charging people for backwards compatibility, which is dumb.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the premium is anything special, but again, that's coming from me, a guy who doesn't give a flying fuck about a game that came out in 2005. I've probably played it before, so, and if I haven't played it, it's probably because I don't want to play it, so. That's just
That's
me.
fair.
It says,
No, I mean, yeah, I know backwards compatibility, but I just think it's dumb that they're charging you for backwards
yeah.
compatibility. Shouldn't be a charge. There shouldn't be any charge whatsoever. It should be, hey, do you want to buy this game? Like, I don't care. They can't put a disc in, but like, if I want to play a PS2 game, put it on the marketplace, and I'll buy it, even if it's $15. If I want to play that PS2 thing so badly, I will buy it and I will play it. You shouldn't be putting it behind a paywall where you have to pay monthly or yearly. That's stupid. That's just I don't even like how Nintendo does that either. They're not PlayStation isn't the only one doing it. Nintendo does it too, and I think it's so dumb. And great if people want to pay for the membership for for Nintendo just to play the backwards compatibility games. That's great. Enjoy it. I'll just find a free ROM that literally has all those games on there anyways. That I don't have to pay for it. It's stupid. It's just dumb. But
Real
yeah,
quick,
that's my final thoughts
yeah,
on it.
real quick before we move on, I just want to say, people complaining about the no day one game releases. They really don't pay attention because Sony has said for 4 years that they're never gonna do that. They don't want to do that. That's not how they want to make games. That's not how they want to produce games. And they feel like personally that would be a detriment to their games and the quality and the amount of money that they are capable of spending on some of these games. It was a whole interview that Jim Ryan gave earlier this week after they announced this, and that's not how we make games. And we feel like if we do make games, our games will become less of what they are because of that. Because of that way, because of the fact that we have to spend less money on games because we don't have a guaranteed level of income in terms of people buying this game. We don't know how many people, the next Horizon is going to get to sign up for PlayStation Plus extra or premium, whatever like that. So whether you agree with that statement or not, that's the way that the company feels about it, and so that's the way that they're going to do about it. And so far, they're right. They are successful. Sony is the number
Mm,
one. So no, is Sony not the number one gaming company in the world?
yeah, well,
They
no,
are.
I'm trying to explain the fact that that's just corporate talk for we want money. We want more money.
Well, of course they want money.
It's not
You think
your
Xbox
games are
doesn't
going
want
to go
money?
down because no, I'm saying they're saying that because they're trying to say that we're going to make better games by not doing this, but in reality, a certain game called GT7, which is a pay to win, money grab game that's online only, that's not good quality when you're paying $70 for a game that's not even that great. When you're literally making people pay $20 for a car because you are making people grind heavily to play a game. That's not well, how is that good quality? That is dumb. And that's where I
Yeah,
think
that
that
is
that's
dumb.
just the money grab saying, well, we'll make better games by not doing this. GT7, because if I remember right, that's a game that isn't good quality, but you're making people pay $70 for that game. That's stupid.
Well, he was
Ugh.
saying the money that they
That's
put
why I think
in.
it's just a dumb saying.
He's saying no. I don't think it's dumb. I mean, the money that they put into these games are more than any of the other companies and studios put into these games, bar none. Like it's
They're
not.
getting a lot of money too from it.
It's true. Yeah, but what they're saying is like
$20 for a car.
the next God of War cost more than three Nintendo games combined. Last of Us Part 2 cost significantly more than a lot of the other studios making in a first party game. Definitely costs more than the Legend of Zelda game uh, that's coming out. It costs way more than Breath of the Wild. So now the money spent is not a factor in terms of quality. Quality is an entirely different factor than money spent. He's just saying that the way that they make games, it does not make financial sense. And I don't even believe they have enough money to do it the way that Microsoft
Oh,
does it.
I don't blame them. Again, that's why I said I don't blame the day one thing. But I hate the argument where people keep saying, "Well, Xbox Game Pass, these games are down." I'm like, "Shut up!" Like literally, it's just a good deal, and it's
It was a
not
great
making the
deal.
games go down whatsoever. It's a great deal. It's not making the games lose quality. I don't understand why people keep thinking that. That's where I get angry about it. Like I understand why PlayStation isn't doing day one. Day one, I get it. PlayStation doesn't have the money that Microsoft does. Microsoft can literally lose money and they would still be fine. PlayStation is a big company, but they're nowhere close as big as Microsoft, which is fine. That's where I wasn't mad about them not doing day one. I mean, yeah, it doesn't speak to what as value as what Game Pass is, but did I not say it's still a good deal? It's still a really good deal. And I just think it's a dumb saying where people keep saying that if they put their thing on there, it's going to lose their value on what they make a game, or the fact that games become worse because they're on Game Pass. I think that's a stupid saying, in my opinion, because that doesn't make any sense.
I,
Like,
I don't
the
think
game
it.
is still getting the same budget that it would always get. It's still going to be made as good as they can. They're make it half-assed just because it's on Game Pass.
Well,
Like, I just think that's
in,
so dumb.
in terms of budget, that's not true at all. Halo 2 is more expensive than Halo Infinite, and it came out 15 years ago. So in terms of budget, that's not true at all. In terms of quality, again, budget and quality are two entirely separate arguments. Like, some of the cheapest games ever made, Journey, for example, cost like I think $2 million to make, and it's better than most of the games we're talking about right now. So budget and quality are entirely two different things. But Microsoft is spending less money on their first party games. You can look that up.
I mean,
Infinite
how much did
cost
they spend on Forza Horizon 5 compared to all the rest,
Forza Horizon 5 cost 45 million.
which is
Um,
probably more than Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 2, all of the above. I'm pretty sure they still spend a lot. Yeah, maybe Halo, don't know why, but like that doesn't mean all their games are. That's one game. Plus, clearly they're putting out games that still score very well. The
Oh yeah.
I know it's not exclusive, but that Day One Tunic game, is it since it's on Game Pass? Did it lose value? Was it made shittily? Was it bad? I know it's not made by Microsoft, but people are saying every game on Game Pass is losing its value.
Oh, I'm
It's
not
all
saying
going
that.
downhill.
I'm not saying that at
I
all.
know you're
But
not. I'm saying there are people out there that truly believe that Game Pass is making games worse, which is the stupidest thing ever.
yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I do agree that you know the scope of the games are not. No, I guess I disagree with that statement I was about to make too. I guess at the end of the day, let's just see how it all plays out. Sony does their
Like I
own
would
thing.
still review any game on Game Pass the same as
Oh,
Game Pass.
I
Doesn't
would.
mean that it should get a good review because it's on Game Pass. I think
Yeah, I would
every
review the
game should be
games.
reviewed the way it is.
But I think people expecting Sony to do exactly what Microsoft is doing is extraordinarily quote
Oh
unquote
no, I think it's dumb too.
unfair. Microsoft is valued at $2.28 trillion. Sony is valued at 156 billion. We're talking about Microsoft could entire Xbox thing could completely collapse and fail, and Microsoft be like, whatever. It's
Yeah, they same for
Xbox.
Google, for
Yeah,
example. Remember Stadia? Like they were able to lose money. They knew that
yeah, they didn't give a
they
shit.
still made it.
Yeah. So Sony totally is valued at $156 billion. PlayStation itself is valued at $22 billion as of last year. Microsoft is valued at $2.28 trillion, and Xbox was valued at $11 billion last year. Run
Yeah.
the percentages all you want. That is a very small percentage of Microsoft as a whole. So Microsoft said Xbox could completely fail, and Microsoft would shrug their shoulders. And
Yeah.
they would probably, they probably don't want Xbox to fail. Obviously, they'd be like, "Man, that sucked." But if it did, they're like, "Oh, it didn't actually really matter to our bottom line that much." If PlayStation fails, Sony's like, "Fuck, uh, what do we do now?"
That's fair.
So
Yeah, I
I,
just
I think that's
I
completely
never
well. I just get mad that people are like, "Oh, well, it doesn't have day one games. That sucks. PlayStation's greedy." I'm like, "Oh, they're not greedy. They just can't do that. Like that's not the way that the company and that's not the way that they make money. They can't quote unquote lose money because there are some games that you know, depending on how much money Microsoft puts in the games, I find it kind of hard if you run the numbers based off 25 million subscribers to Xbox Game Pass. Some of those are at $10, some of those are $14. Like, I don't know if they're really making that much money on these games in terms of, what other companies are making on the games that they sell individually. I don't know what they're making because Xbox doesn't come out with numbers like Sony or Nintendo does. They don't really include the sales numbers or anything like that. So we don't know exactly how much things have done. But like I do the numbers in a basic calculator. I'm like, man, how are they making their money back? And I don't think they are yet. I think they're still losing money on Game Pass. It's
pretty
only
sure. I mean,
it's
with
only
how many people have subscribed to it, I'm pretty sure they're actually. I'm pretty sure. Like I think it was like a year or so reported that they are starting to make money back
oh
from
okay.
it now.
But there's 25 million subscribed to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, and that's a metric fuck ton too. If you think about how all the people are paying for, like they're making good money from it.
Yeah. One thing,
So
well, again, you stack that up with how expensive it is to run these companies. It's not just the budget of the game; it's how much you have to pay the employees, how much you have to pay for the technology year in year out. So, a $40 million game, spread out over the course of the 5 years it took to make it, and paying those employees, and paying for the technology, and paying all these things. Like, I honestly don't even know how anybody makes money in the world.
yeah, I mean, if you did the math on that, it would $5 million a month
You
off
cut
of
out.
Game Pass.
What'd you say?
Sorry, they're making. If you do the math on $75 million a month from Game Pass.
Yeah.
If they're doing if everyone's paying 15, that's if everybody's paying 15. I could probably go down to the $10 too. But that's if everybody's paying 15, which I would say I guarantee about most people are paying 15. Not all of them. Not gonna say all. That's not a fact. But if they're all paying 15 and they're all doing that, it's $375 million a month. That's pretty insane.
That's true, I guess. So I
And
did.
then for a whole year, they're making $4 billion, $4.5 billion a year.
So I guess the most baseline PlayStation, Xbox Game Pass accompanies 40% of their average revenue per year.
Yeah, and then if you think
30%.
about too, like
Sorry,
with the
30%.
new acquisitions they're making, like with the Netflix style that they're going for, I'm sure there's gonna be a big, huge influx of new Call of Duty companies that are gonna want to get Game Pass instead of having to pay for it
Yeah,
like normal.
that's true. Honestly, I get aggravated sometimes because like both companies are successful at what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and
Like,
again, as I said, I don't think it's dumb that they don't do day one. I mean, yeah, it's not as valuable as what Xbox is doing, but I do understand why they don't. They don't have that kind of money. So
did have to laugh though. I engage with some trolls on Reddit just because I like it sometimes. Some dude was saying um that this was gonna kill PlayStation because this was so bad. First of all, you realize how bad PlayStation had to screw up over the terms of about 5 years for them to quote unquote kill PlayStation. I remember everybody. Nintendo made the Wii U for 5 years, and now they're back better than ever.
there's
It
still
it takes a lot to kill a Sega was in the garbage can for 10 years back in the day, and they're still around making games. It takes a lot to kill a company that's as big as the companies that we're talking about. So neither of these companies are going anywhere. Xbox isn't going anywhere. Nintendo's definitely not going anywhere. Sony's definitely not going anywhere. Like, how many times have we seen a new company try to come in, break into the console market, and just get crushed by these three guys? They're like, yeah, no, fuck off. You know?
yeah, oof, Stadia.
Stadia, the
Oof,
Ouija, or the Ouija, or the Ouija,
the
whatever the fuck.
Ouija.
The
Yeah, I forgot about
Ouija.
that. Yeah.
The Ouija, yeah. So, but I forgot what my original point was going to be. Anyway, let's move on. I'm tired of talking about it. I think it's
No.
fine. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's my overall thoughts on PlayStation Plus and its expansion. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. If you don't like any of this, you don't have to do any of it. You know, if you're a part of PlayStation Plus, you get immediately wrapped into the lowest tier without any extra money or anything. You don't have to do anything. If you want extra, there's the extra there. If you want to get it, I don't think it's that spectacular, amazing. I think it really is just. I think people were expecting Game Pass level, and PlayStation was coming at this as like, no, we just want to combine PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, and that's what they did here. They combined the two services into one.
Yeah, I mean, they're also. I'm sure. I mean, there's a lot more games too they're adding to it with that extra
Oh no,
thing.
there's
So
like 600 games on PlayStation Now right now.
really, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Huh.
people just don't realize because Sony doesn't give a flying f about PlayStation Now. They don't see that as a core stance of the company, and I really don't believe they think this is going to be the core stance. This is something that they did because they felt like it was necessary to combine the two things together to make it less confusing for people. I really don't fully believe that Sony believes in this kind of stuff. They believe in making the next God of War and selling 20 million units of the next God of War. That's what they believe in. And they're looking at this other stuff as a secondary infrastructure to the core way that they make games. Where Xbox Game Pass is the thing. That's what they put all the chips in Game Pass. Like, that is full go. And for PlayStation and for Nintendo, this stuff just isn't the core aspect of their games. They care about making first party exclusive games and selling their consoles and their games based off that. Two very different styles of business. So I guess what I'm saying is my overall is, this is fine. To said depends on what games. If they come out with like a huge amount of games that are like, man, I would love to play that again. I'd love to go back. Which you know me, I'm not gonna ever do that. But there's probably a lot of people out there that are like you. They said if they come out with you know, if the original God of War, which will probably be a part of it, you may get to play it because it'll be the PS2 version. If that is a downloadable one or not, we'll see. And I said there's so much things that we don't know about this Like, what are the games? What are the services? How does it all work as a service? So I guess wait till June to find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it's mind-boggling good.
No, I
Who
don't think.
knows?
No, I 100%
I
don't
know.
think it's gonna be mind-boggling good. It's gonna be, I said, whatever. Like, I'll probably opt into the extra, just because, you know, it's only $40 more a year for me from what I'm paying now, and it's like, I want access to those 400 games. That's probably the one I'm gonna opt into, you know. And then it says
Yeah.
I'll just buy Xbox Game Pass whenever a game comes out that I want to play. So you and I are the exact opposite in how we approach these two things. Although it would be nice though, especially
Well,
if Xbox would come out with a yearly price for Game Pass that was lower than the monthly price. I think that would be cool. That would make me want to get it more. I would honestly just buy the yearly thing and forget about it.
well, actually, I was kind of surprised about that because they used to sell yearly things for
Yeah,
Xbox
gold.
Gold.
Yeah,
So I was
gold.
kind of surprised they don't do that actually. I didn't even really think about that because I mean, I didn't really care anyways. I paid $15 a month, which is pretty much literally Game Pass and the yearly subscription of Gold combined. It's $5 a month technically for the Gold half, and then $10 for the Game Pass half. If you do the math with that, so and then you get the bonus EA games and all that. So that's why it doesn't bother me because I mean, $15 a month is stupid good. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm literally basically paying for Gold and Game Pass at the same time,
I don't
and
play
you get all the
EA games, so
bonuses.
fuck EA.
Well,
EA
I know that,
sucks.
but I mean, it's a bonus. Like they add all those games,
Yeah,
and it's like, okay,
you
that's
don't
great.
play.
I mean, I don't play the EA games except for It Takes Two, which was the only game I played that was on there. And hey, I didn't have to pay for it, so I was like, sweet. So
Fair
I'll
enough.
I'll do
Well,
that.
you did pay for it. You paid a
Well, I
hundred.
paid for it,
You paid a
but I
hundred
also am paying
and
for all the other games too.
$50 a year.
Yeah,
hundred
that's
and
not
eighty
that
dollars a
bad.
year. It's really not. No. Honestly, it said if we're trying to break this down, and it's like at the end of the day, you can get 400 games for $100 a year. That's good.
Yeah,
Like,
that is good, and I think it is
yeah,
good.
you can get
That's good value.
740 games for $120 a year. It's good. Xbox, you can get whatever they add and all the new stuff for $150 a year. It's good. All of this is good. It's just different based off how they do it. Like, yes, locking the games behind a paywall sucks for the people that really want to play backwards compatible games. That kind of sucks. That if you want to do that, you have to spend $10 a month, $120 a year, $18 a month if you want to do it monthly. Like that sucks. But overall, you get 740 games for $120 a year. Quit complaining. I know.
Yeah,
There's things to complain about, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if you don't want it, don't get it. If you do want it, get it. Said. That's like me with Game Pass. I don't want to pay month to month because
again,
I don't play the majority of my games on Xbox, so I get it whenever I need it.
exactly. That's why again I said this is great if you are a mostly PlayStation person. It's stupid good value behind it. So,
All right, you want to move on?
yep.
Finally. All right, cool. So,
Fine.
keeping along the same pathway, Xbox is reportedly working on a family guest plan. Blah, blah, blah. A family plan. Apparently, this has been something that people have been wanting for a long time. I never knew it, but apparently, it's going to be a new tier that will allow up to 5 other players to access the Xbox Game Pass within the same ecosystem. It'll be run through their Office 365 services. And I don't have any clue how all this is going to work on Xbox, but it sounds cool to me. Cool, great. More people can enjoy if you do have a family, if you're a father of a bunch of people. Cool, you don't have to pay for multiple services. That sounds like the right idea. That's all I got. Logan, what do you have?
uh, I mean, there's not really much to say. That's cool. I'm sure it's going to be cheaper than every individual paying for it, and it's kind of like back in the day when my friends used to get Xbox Gold Family, where literally you could have like up to 5 people just together on that. So nothing new here. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't a thing already, but yeah, that's exciting. And for the group of people, even if it's not just for family, it's a group of friends that all have Xbox and they just all want to pay cheaper price, this is even more of a amazing deal. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. I'm like, cool. You know, it sounds like good for people who need it. I don't have a family, so I don't need it. Next up, keeping along the same stream again, PlayStation Plus announced the new games for April, and they are Hood, Outlaws and Legends, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Slay the Spire. I guess this is another one new story that I just kind of threw in. Logan, what do you got?
Sweet. Free SpongeBob game. Don't know much about Outlaws and Legends. It looks okay.
It is a multiplayer only game that
actually the review literally when I clicked on it, but literally said 6. Okay. I was like, okay. Don't know anything about Slay the Spire either. But hey, SpongeBob. So
yeah, hey, I bought the collector's edition for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom because I wanted the trophy, and guess what? The game is still wrapped up. But hey, now I can.
Now you don't have to unwrap it.
Exactly, higher value. Let's go. I'm downloading this and playing it. Let's go. Next story is a sad one for me. This is something that I don't like when companies do this, but I understand it has to happen sometimes on the back end of things. Everybody's Golf is getting its online functionality cut off later in this year on October 1st. Nope, just kidding. On September 30th. You cannot do it on October 1st. Logan, you have watched me play this game. You know that I actually really enjoy this game. I like golf games in general. While this doesn't apply to me per se, because I don't really play it online, it sucks for the people that do play it online, and especially considering the developers behind this game have already stated that they're doing other things right now, so we're not getting a new everyday everybody's golf game for another couple years probably, and I think it sucks. It doesn't affect me too much, but you know, being as this is one of the most popular golf games on PlayStation in terms of sales wise, you know, people really love this game and really play this game. Getting its server shut down, what, 6 years after its launch? I think it launched in 2016.
That's still pretty impressive though for 6 years. It's not bad.
I mean, yes, but like you gotta think, like 6 years in the grand scheme of things, it's also 5 years. Sorry, it came out in 2017. So you think the servers would stay on longer than that? Now maybe they're looking at the numbers and there's like no one playing it, so they're like, well, we'll just close this down. But I guess for those few people that are playing it, I'll tell you what. Side note, I played this game online once, and I queued up with a bunch of pretty much like 4 or 5 people for Japan, and they wiped the floor with me. These dudes were hitting some curved some curved bank shots, and I was like, I'm just gonna hit it straight down the course and see what happens.
Yeah, but though, yeah, it does suck to see this game, you know, lose its functionality. I don't know how many people. It doesn't even look like they specify how many people were left on their servers. I mean, you got a couple more months at least, so that's a positive. But yeah, I think it was bound to happen, especially since it's been 5 years. And again, who knows how many people actually play this game online anymore.
Well, I mean, it's bound to happen for any game. Eventually, the server's going to be shut down. Yeah. I just think 5 years is a little short of a time. But, so here we go. I found some numbers. So, this is from a couple months ago, but it was 600 people playing online around. So yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad. That's
very low.
So I guess it sucks for those 400 people that are still playing it, 600 people that are still playing it. But hey, single player is still online. Now that does suck as there are 2 online multiplayer trophies. So if I really want to get the platinum in this game, I'm gonna have to push for those. But I don't think I'm going to because I get distracted. But anything else you have?
No, I mean, I guess the positive side is, yeah, I do appreciate that it is a single player offline thing. Yeah. Like, it's not strictly online, because that would suck.
You should get this game, man. You've seen me play it. It's better than Mario Golf.
It does look Yo, I agree. I do agree with that.
Mario Golf sucked, man.
Dude, it makes me sad. That game was I was so hyped for it, and then it just was okay.
Sucked.
It was
I
just
guess it didn't
really
suck, yeah.
okay.
Well, coming from me playing this, and then you show me Mario's Golf, I'm like, man, this thing sucks compared to a game that came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, they just didn't put enough courses into it, and then they also didn't make it Mario like. They took it way too seriously. I wanted it to be a very arty golf game, and instead it was a
Yeah.
more serious golf game.
All right. Moving on, sir.
Yep.
All right, so everyone type F in the chat for everybody's golf. It's no more after September. Moving on, Breath of the Wild 2 is also no more for 2022. It has been officially delayed to 2023. Duh. that's I don't know who expected this game to launch in 2022. If you did, I'm sorry. Maybe you're not paying attention to the video game world and how it works, but I had zero faith for this game launching in 2023. But now it's official. Delayed this spring. Sorry, I know in launching 2022. Sorry. It's been officially delayed to spring 2023. You want to give your response real quick? I do have some things to read.
I was not fully surprised that this was happening, but I kind of I guess I was really 50-50 this year on the whole thing. I didn't know if they to actually like they were gonna show it off like mid this year, and then they were just gonna have it like release around Christmas time in November. But I also kind of had a really good feeling that, or not good feeling, but a bad feeling that it was going to be delayed. And pretty much, yeah, that's how it ended up being. It sucks, but hey, if they need that time, then take it. As I said, we've said the last episode, and I'm pretty sure the episode before that. Honestly, I'd rather them delay it and come out with a great game than be a Cyberpunk 2077. So,
Here's something interesting.
Cyberpunk 2077 should be added to the dictionary game that should have been delayed.
Oh, it should have been delayed more. It was already delayed. It should have been delayed a whole year.
I know.
But anyway, here's something interesting. Coming off a topic from last week when we talked about Nintendo. Spring is when... What the heck is this? I know, I am talking. You bring me a weird-ass energy drink, I'm going to talk about it on the show.
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What?
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson's.
It's Dwayne The Rock
What?
Johnson's energy drink? Let's fucking go, bro. Zoa. Oh, I'm so excited now. I'm going to crack this open once I get done talking about this. All right, so what I was saying was... spring is when the Switch 1 released. Spring of 2017. Along with Breath of the Wild. The sequel? Spring 2023. 6 years later. Which coincidentally is also the same amount of length that is the longest generation of Nintendo consoles. Thoughts? Switch 2 confirmed spring 2023. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, that's what I was saying too. I literally seen that YouTube video posted. I literally put in the chat and I'm like all right, so Switch 2, because I was like it would be the perfect time to come out with the Switch 2 with the new Breath of the Wild. It does kind of match together, you know, and I thought that was kind of weird how it got pushed back to a specific time around when a Switch would be coming out. So I don't know. It would be honestly a great move to come out with the next Switch with the new Breath of the Wild. It would be pretty sick.
Yeah, the only thing that I trip up on with, the whole conversation of the next Switch, like, do I think Nintendo needs it in terms of visual fidelity and other things like that and moving the video game industry forward so it's not stagnant on the Switch? Yes, I do. But does Nintendo need it in terms of sales and money? No, the Switch is still selling like hotcakes. So that's the only thing that I'm like, maybe they're just going to ride this out until they see a drop of sales, which would suck because that's not what I think they should do. Like, almost definitely the next Switch is deep into production. Like, they already know what it is. They have a general idea of the components that are going to be into it. They just don't know when they're going to release that. At least I think they would. I mean, most people know PlayStation 6 is already being theorized and talked about. The next Xbox is already being theorized and talked about. So I would find it very hard to believe that the next Nintendo console isn't either being talked about. Well, it's definitely being talked about, if not actually legitimately being like completed and specs being sent out. What do you think?
Yeah, and they probably already sent out a bunch of their test consoles already to their developers, which there has been
Hey,
not
hold up.
leaked.
Guess
What?
guess what? Let's
What?
hear it. Let's hear how crisp it is. We had a nice little pop. Had a nice little pop, man.
Oh, it didn't go off for me.
Oh, it did? Oh,
No, I would
that's underwhelming.
right when you did that because I was like, I heard nothing, and I'm like, oh, well, that was a pop, I guess.
It tastes like fruit
Oh,
juice.
fruit juice. What kind of fruit though? Like, is it like a
It
fruit
tastes like
punch?
yeah,
Or
like a fruit punch.
okay, is it the same Celsius or is it straight up just its own energy drink?
No, this is the Rock one. Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Really?
It's
I
his
need to
brand of
look
energy
this
drink.
up.
ZOA.
COA.
Sorry for the delay.
Interesting.
In the ZOA energy drink. At least Peyton said it was Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We'll see.
You know, that kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah, it is. It's definitely his brand. Yep.
Yeah, it's straight up shows up right when you click on the website.
So did you buy me a
Picture
pack of
of it.
these? Oh hell yeah, she bought me a whole pack of these. Let's go.
200 milligrams of caffeine.
Well, that's different than what it says on here. The one I have says 120. Oh, you're looking at his pre-workout. I'm not.
Oh, the supplement. Oh, that's straight up just pre-workout in the can. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is not. This is just the energy drink, not the pre-workout brand.
Oh yeah, 160 milligrams.
Which is still
of
different. Mine
natural
says
caffeine.
120. I don't know. There's a lot of different versions of this apparently. So
Yeah, that's a tropical punch, naturally flavored, zero sugar, 60 milligrams of natural caffeine.
yeah, I'm.
Interesting. Huh. Never even once heard of it. You'll have to let me know how they are.
I just told you. Tastes like fruit punch. Tastes good.
Well, no. Well, does it taste like a good fruit punch, or
Yeah. It tastes like a good
too
fruit punch.
artificial?
It doesn't taste like a crappy fruit punch. So
Good. All right. Well,
do you want to move on, sir?
yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next story.
Okay, officially E3 2022 has been canceled. Earlier this year, we found out that the in-person or physical show had been canceled, and now they have announced that they are also canceling the digital-only side of the show. Logan, what is your reaction to E3 being done again?
I'm gonna assume this is the death of E3, probably guaranteed. I mean, it was already dying because every company's doing their own thing now. They don't need to bring their stuff to E3 anymore to have their stuff be shown off. Especially with 2020 coming in, COVID, that was the big push for all digital. So I guess I am a little surprised that the digital isn't. I'm sorry. I didn't know the digital was going to be completely canceled. That surprised me. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe just no one wanted to be a part of it. So they just said, well, there's not enough people, or just no one wants to be a part of this anymore, to the point they're just like, all right, well, we're just going to cancel it. So I don't know. This is weird, but also it might truly be the death of E3 for good. I don't know. Because clearly, if they're not even going to do it at all, how do they recover from that? Because like, E3 was the biggest showcase for video games,
Well,
and it
they
was great.
recovered in. They didn't do it in 2020, but I think that was a little bit more excusable because of the fact of the COVID pandemic and everything that was going on. But I don't think they're done just yet. But I don't. I mean, we've known for years that they're not gonna. They're not what they used to be. Like
Yeah,
Nintendo doesn't care. Sony doesn't care. Xbox is really the only major publisher that gives a crap anymore. EA backed out a couple years ago. Well, they don't even. They do their own thing in conjunction with EA. Oh, sorry, in conjunction with E3. In last year's show, we talked about it. They all sucked.
yeah,
Xbox was the best showcase, and even it was like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't like, anything great. Like, you remember back in the day when Xbox had their Cyberpunk thing, and Keanu Reeves walked out on stage. Like, those days are long gone, man. Or, when Sony had the baller of a 2017 E3 when, they announced God of War and they announced all these amazing games. Like, we're never having that again.
Yeah, it sucks because the thing is, like when I was a kid and I used to watch E3, that was the one thing I've always wanted to go to was E3. Like I've always like I know it was super expensive, but that was one thing I've always wanted to go to was E3 because those always looked super cool and it was all about video games. A lot of people, showcasing stuff and all that. I've always thought that would be super cool, but yeah, obviously by the time I got old enough now, E3's kind of done now, and
Yeah.
I really don't know how they'll come back because, like, yeah, I get 2020. 2020 was a brutal year. Everything kind of went everywhere. I mean, E3 definitely couldn't happen because with COVID being at its prime. And then, the digital showcase last year wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it a little bit, but not having it at all this year makes me think that just no one wanted to be a part of it. And they're just like, why should we pay E3 to have our showcase there when we could just do it on our own? So, yeah, it sucks, but that's where we're going now. Most of these shows are going to start being just strictly digital, and all the days of having physical showcases are probably long gone, and we'll never have them again.
Wait, it's
Who
like one of those
knows?
things, like, it was something special in the video game industry. It was like, I still remember, like you were talking about when we were younger. I'd be like, hey, Ma, just letting you know, I'm not available this week. It's E3. I'm watching a live stream and I'm watching these press conferences and I'm watching all the stuff for hours and hours for 1 week in uh July. Or, yeah. Yeah, it's normally the second week of July because it's right after the 4th of July. Maybe it's in June. Either way, one of those two
Yeah,
months. It's like, it's one of these things that I used to always look for. I mean, I even looked forward to it last year, even though it said last year's ended up not being good at all. But um, I still look for it. I still get excited every time a new state of play is announced. Every time a new Xbox showcase is announced. Every time a new uh Nintendo Direct is announced. Because, like, I just like watching these things. But it is gonna suck that we don't have the event anymore that it used to be. There's no press conferences live. There's no people walking out on stage. There's no, you know.
because you would have all of these companies come together to showcase all their new projects and stuff, which I'm really curious. Are they? I hope maybe PlayStation, Xbox still do something that great this summer
Oh, they'll still
on
do
their own
something, but
terms, but it's still not going to be as exciting because yeah, I love E3. Like every summer, I looked forward to E3 because I'm like, yes, I can't wait to see the new games that are coming out this year. I can't wait to see the projects that they're working on, and they would showcase all these super hype stuff like nonstop. Like every company would be there, and they would all be showing some of the coolest projects and some of the newest things that are coming to gaming. And yeah, like I don't know, like it kind of sucks because I did like sitting down for E3 and watching the live stream. And when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure they used to have it on TV too. And I watched it on TV and it was just so cool. Because
yeah,
like I just remember
back in
all
the
those
old
really cool.
G4 days, they would have like a
Yeah.
7 hour live stream, which is day two of E3. It was so cool.
You see all the celebrations and people showing off like big projects, small projects. It was just a big celebration of gaming. So yeah, it does really suck to see that. I really do think after this year, maybe even next year, I don't think E3 is going to be a thing anymore.
I mean, we still have the Game Awards, and the Game Awards
Yeah,
are awesome. It's not a place where massive reveals take place like E3, but maybe it's gonna become that. I do kind of, my opinion on the Game Awards is I wish they actually focused more on the awards and the reveals. I care about the awards. I want to see, I want the Game Awards to be the Oscars of video games without the slap. Um, sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we haven't
Yeah,
talked about that since. Yeah,
with
I hope there's a
without the
a
slap.
meme.
Um, but you know, I do know we have Summer Games Fest and we have other things that go on. And if E3 is to die, if it is no more, I hope someone picks up its remnants. it may never be what it is, and especially the fact that Sony and Nintendo realize they don't have to spend a shit ton of money to produce these live presentations. They can just do an online one, and people will watch that just as much, if not more. Like, I don't know if it's fully E3's fault or it's just the digital age and the digital world that we live in that has now relegated these old school, quote unquote, conferences and things that we used to watch as a kid to be irrelevant nowadays. You know,
Yeah,
the things
it
that we used to
sucks.
love and watch when we were 12 years old, and we were like, what's the new thing coming out? And the 12-year-olds today, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna sit down and watch an hour and a half long show. I just want to see what's the new trailers, when's the new Call of Duty coming out. Maybe I'm being very, very old and jaded, but that just seems to be the way that things are heading.
Yeah. It sucks.
The good news is the fact that I fully believe that the video game industry is stronger than it's ever been in terms of gaming and diversity and all this other stuff. Like, imagine the game. Like, think of the games we have today. Like, I just got done platinuming Horizon Forbidden West. Think of that compared to, well, I'm a little older than you, but like PS1 games, for example, PS2 games. We've come a long way. So maybe I shouldn't be so jaded as I am, but
I just hope someone takes over and they add another kind of big celebration thing, like more. I don't know. It would just. I hope though, whatever the Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo comes out with by this summer, I hope it's super good. Like I hope it's long and great celebrations, like in between it. Like just I don't know. I just want to see a nice long stream of them talking about their new projects and stuff. So
well, I
it's gonna be
know.
weird that it's not an E3 format anymore, but
Well,
it is
see,
gonna be, and I still am interested.
I'm used to that from Sony and Nintendo. What I will be interested in is see how Xbox handles it, because I've always thought Xbox presentations at E3 and like live things were really good. I don't like the way that Xbox does their streaming announcements. We talked about this, with like the 3 hour stream where they just kind of talk about games. I'm like, man, make it more of like a presentation to me. Make it more of like an event, like, like Nintendo does or like Sony does, when they make it like a presentation of things, not just a TED talk,
Yeah,
So I'll be interested to see, without the live stage now, the way that Xbox goes about it. And maybe they do just record a live event. Maybe have they rent out an auditorium or something like that, which would be really, really cool. That would be awesome. I don't know if they're
yeah.
gonna
If
do
they do
that.
that, that'd be sick.
I don't know that they would do that because that's quite a bit of money, but also we literally just got that talking about Xbox doesn't care that much. They have enough
That's
money.
fair.
So, but what we're gonna get from Sony. We're gonna get a PlayStation Showcase, which is different from their State of Plays. We're gonna get a PlayStation Showcase where we're going to see God of War, where we're going to see whatever else they have. We may even get a sneaky little cheeky release date for Spider-Man. That'd be hype. I'd fucking lose my shit if we got a release date for Spider-Man. And we've
Yeah.
okay. I was like, oh, we
Sorry,
lost
no,
them, folks.
sorry. Yeah, no. I hope so. I'm also still waiting for the. They haven't released God of War's release date yet, so
They
I'm
will.
still just waiting for that. I'm just worried this year with all the weird, not like I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll be getting to that actually in a second. I'll wait to say something until we get to the next story.
What do you mean, the April Fool's one?
Yeah.
What does that have relegated to God of War? Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah. I remember. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, again, F's in the chat for E3 2022. Maybe F's in the chat for E3 in general. I believe it'll come back in 2023 and still exist and be a thing that we get to sit down and watch. Granted, again, I don't think it's ever going to get back to where Logan and I remember it as our childhood, and maybe you guys remember it as your childhood. But let's hope and see. Moving on to our second to last story. April Fool's was this week, as everyone all knows, and in the gaming industry, it's always a fun time. People like to have jokes. People like to have fun with it and throw things around. I wanted to sit down and see anything Sir Logan, that you enjoyed, you saw, that you really liked. There's an article here from IGN that I posted that has a detailed description, not just like a rundown of some of the things that happened on April 1st, but I do have a couple of things outside of that, and you and I both have the same experience on one. So, what was your reaction to a fun day in gaming, usually April Fool's Day?
Great. I don't know if this is on this list. I haven't looked, but one of my favorites was the Elden Ring posted a thing, and they're like, we added a new boss to the game, and we're like, oh, what's the new boss? And I was reading on, it's like, yeah, where was it? I'm pretty sure I had it on here. Wait, here it is. Wait, I'm trying to find where the quote is. Um, let's see. He is he is known as the Fresh Prince within the world of Elden Ring, a nephew of the great Judge Phil. Lord Will has a lineage that is, but eventually he becomes royalty. He is very deceptive, capable of immersing himself in a number of roles, from a great fighter to a legendary bard. And then it says, there was a quote in here that was really funny. Oh, here it is. Will is described as one of the most challenging bosses from Software has ever created. Lord Will is so strong in the fact that even the ruling body known as the Academy was unable to unseat Lord Will.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic.
And then there's like a screenshot, and it's like it shows Lord Will slapping freaking one of the people, one of the knights and stuff. And then it's like you'll go to this location to find him, and then basically you won't see him coming. He'll get you first. It's so good. Like that one killed me. And then not only that, but I think also Borderlands also did the same thing. They also came out with a Lord Will boss, which is really funny. What about you?
So, on the article that I posted, scroll down about halfway through. There is a new keycap that HyperX announced, and it is their grass keycap. And this thing looks so cool. I honestly kind of wish it existed just so I could try it out.
Oh, that's amazing.
Dude, that's so cool, isn't it?
That's so funny. What the heck? I wouldn't be surprised if that actually came out.
In some way or form. Obviously not by a major company like HyperX.
Yeah.
But one thing I did, I only got by one thing, and it was only for like a split second that I got by it. It was a trailer for a new Assassin's Creed game, so Assassin's Creed Rift, and it was like one of the YouTubers that I watch a lot of his content called Jorah Raptor. He created his own trailer for an Assassin's Creed game, and it got me for a split second until I saw who posted the video, because I originally just opened up YouTube and saw the video and clicked on it. I didn't actually look at the creator until like 15 or so seconds into the video, and then I was like, ah, shit, okay, well, it was actually very well done. It's probably more exciting than what the next Assassin's Creed game is going to be announced as. So, but that's the only one that kind of got me for a little bit. The rest of them I was very aware of what day it was and everything like that, so I was really jaded. But the one that got both of our friends that I want to talk about and made me laugh like crazy, and it got you from what your reaction was for a split second, was there was a user online that posted a God of War officially delayed to 2023. And all of the friends in our group chat were really mad, and I just said, oh, you poor fools. I was like, what day is it? I was like, also, look at who posted it. If it ain't posted by Santa Monica or Sony, it ain't real, trust me. So, you said you had got by that for like a split second, and then you kind of
I
thought
did.
about
I was like, wait, what? I was like, what is going on? Wait. And then yeah, you said that. I'm like, oh. I was like, thank God. I was like, I was really hoping that actually wasn't gonna happen. I guess that's not the only game. There's another game called New Blood, All New Blood Interactive Games, delayed to 2023.
Yeah, which I had no clue what that was.
What's the game is launched or previews? We've since had to adjust to a new way of life and navigate many new Elden Ring related production challenges. Basically, they're saying that we've been playing too much Elden Ring, so we have to delay everything. Oh, that's pretty good though.
That's that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, some of these are pretty funny.
It said once the game launched, the perfect reviews and long hours, the lands between continued to pile up, and it became clear that things just couldn't go back to normal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And then there's the one, the NZXT Steam Deck competitor. I'm not gonna lie, this
Yeah.
thing actually looks cool. It's got a pull-out keyboard in it, man. That's
This thing
awesome.
looks crazy. Yeah.
A pull-out keyboard. Ah,
Plenty of RGB.
yeah, plenty of
That's one of the main
RGB.
points.
Always, always, always. So,
Oh,
all right. Anything else?
no, I think that'll be it.
Overall, a good day. I always like April Fool's Day. I pulled a couple pranks on my clients. So, one of my clients who always walks in and always complains about the workouts that I write up for her, I wrote up a 4.5 page workout for her and said, "All right." I said, "All right, this is what we're doing." Dude, you should have seen her face when I showed her this page.
No.
She almost cried. And I was like, "I'm just messing with you, April Fools." She was like, "Oh God, I was so scared, I was about to die." And I was like,
No.
"One, you wouldn't die. Don't be overly dramatic." But so I had fun with it. I still remember back in the day. It was I believe it was my either sophomore or junior year in high school. I called my mom and I told her, I was like, "Hey, can you come pick me up?" She was like, "Why? What's up?" And I was like, I got in a fight, so they're kicking me out of school for a week." She was like, and she goes off on me, says all the expletives that you can think that a mom would say if her son got into a fight and suspended. And the thing that I was an asshole about is I didn't even tell her until she showed up to the school that it was April Fool's. And then she shows up to the school, and I was like, "Hey, Ma, I love you, April Fools." Oh my God,
Jeez.
she was so mad at me. Oh, she was so mad. And then I tried to get my dad with it, and my dad was just my dad. So he was like, "Well, did you win?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that's no fun. You beat me."
Yeah.
So I like to have fun with April Fools. It's a fun day. I didn't do anything for Peyton this year, but I also just like when the world can come together and have a good time instead of always hating each other all the time.
No.
Have you ever done anything cool for April Fools? Like really, really gotten
Honestly,
somebody? I do things a lot, honestly.
I don't think so. I mean, Amy was gonna get me the day, and it makes me sad that she didn't do it. She was gonna lie that she was pregnant to me.
Oh,
When we were
fuck.
over
Oh,
yeah, she would have got me good.
that's a rough one,
I
man.
even told him like, you shouldn't have told me that. You should have just done it. It
Yeah.
would have been so good. But she didn't, and I'm like, oh, it would have been so funny though. She's like, you probably would have gotten mad. I'm like, no, I honestly probably been. You probably like at first I would have been really surprised and really confused, but then you would have just gotten me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have been mad. I just think it would have been funny. But yeah, I've never done anything like that. I don't know. I never can really like. I never really think about it ahead of time, and even in the moment, I've never really thought of any good April Fool's jokes. I mean, I think I might have pulled one when I was younger on like a teacher or a friend, but I don't remember them to be honest.
The only thing I thought about doing this year to Peyton just seemed like too much work for me to pull off. I was gonna like pretend to be mad at her all day, and then I was gonna put some of her stuff on the driveway, so when she got home, she thought like I was like kicking her out or I was moving out. But it just seemed like too much work to set up and do and all that. I didn't feel like doing all that, and then putting the things back would also suck. So I abandoned that idea. But that's the only idea I came up with this year. So
I did have one good joke, and I don't know if it was April first, but I had one friend in high school. I got like a new iPhone at the time. I think it was like iPhone 6. And my friend kept like he's like, "Man, I really like want to get one of those and everything." So I had the brilliant idea when I was still working at my like one of my old jobs. I was like, "I'm going to go on Amazon and buy a model phone, like a model of the iPhone 6." And I did. It was like 30 bucks, but well worth it. And I get on the bus with him. I'm like, "Hey man, I got a gift for you." He's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I bought you the new iPhone." And he grabs it and he looks at it, he's like, "Oh, thank you." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, can I have that real quick?" I took it, threw it on the ground, and stepped on it a bunch of times. And he's like, "What are
Jesus,
you doing?"
good God.
To you, and I'm like, "Oh, it's just a phone. I just wanted to play a trick on you and see if you would like what you would do to react to that." Well worth 30 bucks though. But
Damn,
it was
man.
just a funny April Fool's joke I pulled on my friend. Yeah, it was kind of mean if you think about it, but it was funny at the time.
Oh, I have so many stories that would make the audience think that I'm an asshole, so I'm not going to say any of those. But man, because kids back in high school, man, it's an experience. So, all right, anything else, my man?
Nope.
By the way, Google is ridiculously creepy, right? So I looked up Zoa right online. Well, I just opened up OpenCritic to see if there was any games I missed for the review roundup, and there's an ad for Zoa at the top of my screen.
Of course.
Google's creepy, man. All right, moving on to a final story. Two things related to pop culture came out in the movie industry today. Well, three things actually. Sonic 2 the Hedgehog reviews finally came live. Morbius reviews went live, and Moon Knight Episode 1 aired this week. So we wanted to go through them real quick and react to them because we love TV and movies here. First up on the list is Morbius, and it failed as much as I thought it was going to fail. So, Logan, I'm going to lead with you because I know you were excited about this. And, yeah, 17%, huh?
Yeah, that's
bad.
extremely low.
That's
there's no really putting, there's no way to sugarcoat it, I guess.
yeah.
17% is a bit low. I still want to watch it though. I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters, but I do want to watch it, and I still want to see it because I was more excited for that than I ever was for Venom. But I still am gonna watch it at some point, get my own opinion on it. So maybe sometime.
Oh yeah,
I'll have
absolutely.
something on it. But
Formulate your own
yeah, it
opinions.
still sucks to hear that I got 17%. I mean, is that the audience or the critic? That's critics, right?
Yeah, that is critics. Audience is actually significantly higher, but that's it's a superhero movie outside of
Yeah.
Audience is generally lower, but the audience score is at 70. Now on Metacritic, the audience score is much lower.
Huh.
On
Yeah,
Metacritic,
I'm curious to see where it is. I do want to watch it. Now, whenever I do, I'll. So.
Yeah, the critical consensus reads like this. Cursed with uninspired effects, rote performances, and a borderline nonsensical story, this dreary mess is a vain attempt to make Morbius happen. Now, I remember you and I had very differing opinions a couple months ago when the trailer came out, and I thought this thing looked absolutely terrible, and you were really excited about it. Again, which is cool. I saw that trailer, I'm like, this movie looks like a steaming pile of turd, and maybe even less than that. But you were like, I think it looks really cool. I disagreed with that opinion, but that's why we live in America.
Because it connects more with the MCU than Venom ever did. I mean, literally, Morbius was literally in Spider-Man Homecoming and the prison scene. So he was literally in that movie. So this story connects with the MCU a lot more than Venom ever did.
I will say,
so
it is not too much lower than Venom. Venom scored a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes. Grant, reviews are still coming in. Morbius only has 185. Okay, well, never mind. It has 185 reviews.
Oh goodness.
I was trying to give it
the benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt, but then I was like, oh no, that's a pretty high base number. So I'm trying to think what the second Venom movie is because I know everyone hated that. What was the name of that? Let There Be Carnage.
Oh yeah, you got it.
And that movie, okay, so that movie has a 58%.
Holy, how did Morbius get that bad of a review?
Well, first of all,
how did it get worse than Venom?
Well, Venom's at a 30% and 81% audience score. So there you go. And then Let There Be Carnage is a 58% and an 84% audience score. Huh. That's interesting. I have not seen. I want to be known. I have not seen Let There Be Carnage yet because I did not like Venom itself. Oh my god! I just realized something. So Venom is an hour and 52-minute movie, right? Superhero movie.
Yeah.
Let There Be Carnage is an hour and 26 minutes.
Wait, what?
Let There Be Carnage is an hour and 26-minute superhero movie.
Jeez.
I remember when Peyton and I saw Venom and I fell asleep in the theater. And she was like, did you just fall asleep in the theater? I'm like, yeah, this movie fucking sucks. I never fall asleep doing anything, dude. I always stay up for it. I love movies. I'm like, this movie's terrible. Warcraft.
I still have not seen any of the Venom whatsoever.
I don't think I personally think 30% is low. I don't think the movie is that bad. It is uninspired and pretty boring, but I don't think it's a like 30% bad. I also probably if I watch Morbius, I wouldn't think Morbius is 17% bad. I can, especially in superhero movies, I can usually find things that I enjoy about them. I'm a little bit more forgiving for superhero movies than I am other movies, but we'll see. Hey, Morbius is only an hour and 44 minutes, so
I
that's
still
good.
can't believe it got that low of a score. I mean, like,
That's bad.
it has to be. That's not just bad. That is horrible. So I'm still gonna watch it and get my own opinion, on it, but really got a lower score than Venom. Like Venom was. I mean, just from what I've heard about Venom and just the villains don't really. I mean, I guess I don't really know who the villain is from Morbius either. So probably the villain isn't that great, but still, like Morbius seems more interesting in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll see.
I will tell you, Suicide Squad, not the good one, the bad one, got a 26.
See, I don't get that. I'm really, yeah. Again, I'll have to watch it because maybe it is just that bad.
Now, this
Who
one,
knows?
the audience score is actually bad compared to Morbius. The audience score is 59 on that. All right. One last thing before we move on to the next movie. What did Batman? No, not Batman. Justice League, the really terrible one, not the good one. Oh my god, I can't spell. There we go. Justice League scored a 39.
And Morbius is that low again. Like comparing it, it's that bad. I don't like worse. I don't know.
Hey, for some reason, the original Justice League has a 68% on audience score. That's wrong. I'm sorry.
Wait,
That's,
so compared to the Snyder Cut, what would the Snyder Cut get?
I will tell you in 1 second. Man, we're really getting off track here, but I don't really
Yeah,
care.
sorry.
No, you're good. I don't care. Justice League Snyder Cut. There we go. So the Snyder. Oh yeah, okay. So the audience score for the Snyder Cut is 94, and
Yeah,
that's
it's like 71%.
yeah,
Rotten Tomato. Yeah,
that tomato meter is 71. Again, I honestly think 71's low. I love the Snyder Cut. I think the Snyder Cut
Snyder
is,
Cut was amazing.
I think it's a masterful movie.
I think the only bad thing is it's just a really long.
Which I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, I remember you came down that weekend and we watched it for the first time. I'm like, this thing is fucking incredible, dude.
And then
like,
you watch it again.
Oh yeah, we watched it twice in back-to-back days. I'm like, this movie.
I
is
actually
absolutely...
I need to Amy needs to finish it. We got to the first half, and which by the way, you know how long this movie is? It's in
hours,
2 discs. It's a 2-disc
yeah,
movie.
I bought the 4K one too. The only thing that sucks is it didn't come with a digital code, which I was really pissed off at.
But it's because they can't put it on digital because HBO still owns the digital, I guess, rights for it. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm fairly certain you can go on Vudu and buy it. It just the 4K you can't?
Yeah, you can't. I literally went on Vudu when I bought it. I don't know if it, but when I bought it, I checked on Vudu to see if it was digital. You couldn't. Like it's not on Vudu. It's not on Apple. I don't know if it's still on there. I'm gonna check real quick. But
you can 100%.
We can go on to the.
You can 100%. You can 100% not buy this movie. Huh? Well, that's interesting. Okay, next movie that came out, a movie that I am very excited for. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 comes out, and it got a 62% so far on Rotten Tomatoes. Granted, this is a very early score, only 37 reviews, so it could go down. Also could go up, theoretically, and obviously no audience score because it comes out this Friday. I will actually be in the theaters this Friday, so next episode, I will have a report to you on Sonic the Hedgehog and what I think about it, coming from someone who was not blown away, but I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed the first one and how good it actually was. So, I am excited about this one. Very excited about this one. Happy to see that so far it seems to be getting good reviews. But I will tell you next episode what my response was. Logan, are you going to go see it, and can we talk about it together?
I probably most likely. I do want to go see it, but I don't know if I really want to see it so bad that I want to go see it in theaters. Like the first movie, I didn't watch until it came out on digital at some point. It was on like Netflix or something like that. I think it was either Netflix or Hulu. I can't remember what it was when it came out, and I watched it on there.
Peyton and I are going to go to that mall theater, the super cheap one that we took you guys to. So we don't have to spend too much money. Yeah, it's like $5, $6.
It's nice too because no one's ever there too.
Yeah, no, super
nice. Because like when we went there, it was great.
Next time you guys come down, we'll take you to the super, super nice theater. That's like ridiculously
Okay.
expensive. Maybe.
Sweet. I'm down.
Depending if there's a movie that we can actually watch. But yeah, no, we're going to the cheap one. Just because we don't want to spend that much on this movie.
Yeah, I really wanna I'm really excited to see it, but I'm not as excited to probably go see it in theaters.
One thing that I have heard is a surprising move. This movie is a half hour longer than the first one.
Really?
This movie is 2 hours. 2 hours and
Wow.
2 minutes. Surprisingly. I'm on board for it. You know me, I love longer movies as long as they don't feel like they're like super long. Like I don't care if a movie comes out and it's 3 hours. I'm like, cool. Like Batman came out 3 hours, I'm like, sweet. I don't care. You know? I also don't care
Yeah.
about length in general. Like I prefer longer movies because one, I get more for my money in my head, but also just like there's a lot more storytelling that can be done. The bad part is if that storytelling is crappy, and then you have to sit
Yeah,
through
they drag it on for too
yeah,
long.
then you have to sit through a 2.5 hour snooze fest. Yeah, that's no fun. But I mean, if this movie is anything like the first movie, it's engaging. Sonic is an awesome character. I like Jim Carrey as Nefarious. Whoa, not Nefarious. That's Ratchet and Clank. What the fuck is that guy's name?
Who you thinking about?
Jim Carrey's
Jim
character.
Carrey?
The villain. I can't think of his name.
Robotnik.
Robotnik.
Egghead.
Egghead, not Robotnik. Robotnik is the other one that they haven't introduced yet. Yeah, Egghead. Anyway, so I'm excited. Let me know if you do go to see it this weekend or not. But I will talk about it next weekend. Maybe spoiler free, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, last thing came out. Moon Knight episode 1 came out, and right now it seems people really like it. It is at a 87% for the first episode. So, yeah. Is this another one you're gonna wait for?
Yeah, I plan on waiting to watch Moon Knight after like a couple episodes come out. At least probably to episode 4 at probably the earliest I'll watch it because I don't really I don't know. Personally, I really been enjoying waiting and just being able to binge the show more than watching it and then having to wait. Especially it helps it kind of gives it an unfair advantage in some ways because then like let's say you watch that episode and it wasn't a good episode and you have to wait to the next episode, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like if there is a bad episode, at least I'll be able to just go to the next episode and maybe it'll be better. I don't know. I just personally enjoy being able to binge through the shows a lot more than having to wait every week for a new episode. There's a few shows, I mean, I'm willing to do it. Like the next Mandalorian, I'm probably every episode when it comes out because it's great and I never have any problems. But like for example, even WandaVision, that was one of the shows I waited to the whole thing released and I watched the whole thing. I think that's why I liked it. But if I were to watch it when it came out with each episode one at a time, I have a feeling I probably wouldn't have liked it as much because it would have been super slow and it would have been 4 weeks to have to wait till it actually started to actually get going. So yeah, that's my opinion on me waiting. I am excited to watch it though. And the fact that they got an 87, that's great. That's exciting.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things. I'm trying to stay away from it, obviously for spoiler reasons, but every once in a while I do hear some good takes on it, some good things. Hey, one thing that came out this week was Bridgerton season 2. I'm excited about that shit.
I have no idea what that is.
Man, when are you gonna watch some like sappy romantic comedy stuff? Because
Ew, no,
it's so
man.
good, dude. Ah, it's so good.
That's not my kind of show, man.
Yeah,
I would never get into it.
I know it's not.
Probably the most sappy thing I watch is a Pixar movie
Wait, hold
or
on.
a Disney movie.
Bro, did you know the Academy Awards gets reviewed?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the 94th Academy Awards has a page on Rotten Tomatoes. It is 21% tomato meter, 14% audience score. And
Jeez.
the critical consensus, it has a critical consensus. A shocking outburst overshadows a sour Oscar night marred by ill-conceived gimmicks and time-saving changes that fail to tighten up another bloated ceremony. I did not know that this thing gets reviewed. Every single one gets reviewed since the 50th
That's funny.
Oscar. That's
I'm
mind-blowing.
not surprised.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. When's the last good one? 24%. I'll go through this later. 33%. Apparently they all suck, which is true. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else you have on anything?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was. Oh, wow, that sounded like I was going to the end of the episode. That was Around the Point, where we went through some of the video game news stories throughout the video game world. If you have any reactions to any of it, please let us know. Comment. We will engage with you and discuss your opinions on things. Now we're going to go to our point of the show where we are discussing. Oh, punch the mic again. Where we are discussing Battle Royale and will it ever go away? Logan, this is one of the ones that you wanted to talk about, so I will let you begin with what you have to say about it.
I guess I don't know why I wrote this one down, to be honest. I mean, I guess obviously I think it will go away. I mean, it already is starting to fade away. It's nowhere close to when it was as popular as when it, like originally started with PUBG and Fortnite being the kings of what Battle Royale pretty much stood for. Um, I personally think though, I mean, we still got like a couple more years of Battle Royale, I guarantee it. I mean, especially with Warzone, I think also helping increase the popularity of Battle Royale. Like, um, but man, I gotta say, Battle Royale's gotten weird for Fortnite. Someone told me I watched a video the other day. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Circle Tunes or whatever. Um, I didn't know how weird Fortnite has gone. It's basically like they took away building now, and then like there's like quests that you do mid mid game, and it's like there's like a whole storyline in between the whole battle royale thing going on, and like there's like tanks and weird stuff going on, and it's weird. Battle Royale now I think is just like pulling any string they can to become relevant anymore. Um, it's weird, but I think Battle Royale is still gonna last a while. I mean, there's that new vampire Battle Royale game coming out soon.
Well, it's a new mode for Vampire the Masquerade. Bloodlines
Yeah,
is a mode in the
and
game.
oh, I thought it was coming out its own separate thing.
Oh, I think it is, but it's like it's a spin-off slash mode of the Masquerade games.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I'd actually probably be willing to try it.
One thing I will say, I want to start off here that says I am a very jaded multiplayer gamer. I don't like the multiplayer games. However, I like Battle Royale more than most multiplayer games out there because I think it's more entrenched. How do I want to put this? I don't know. It's more engaging than just spawning into a map, walking 5 feet, getting shot and dying, or killing someone. It's more slower gameplay. It's more strategic in a way, especially when you talk about your war zones, your Fortnites, or not your Fortnites, your Apex. It's very much team based. You can actually employ strategies like if you and I are playing, we can like, hey, there's a guy northeast. You go south, and I'll move around the top of him, and we'll two-piece him. There's a lot more engagement in that. Very akin to what Battlefield used to be in terms of the combo and team gameplay. But I will say, there are some rumors out there with... Hello, dog. I just got assaulted by my dog. There are some rumors out there, especially one that I'm very excited for. The Last of Us Factions is rumored to be a Battle Royale game, and I honestly believe that has some good potential in it.
A battle royale with Last of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us Factions,
Interesting.
the multiplayer game that Naughty Dog is making, everyone knows that they're working on it, is rumored to be a Battle Royale game, which I think could be... Obviously, it doesn't thematically fit in that well, but I don't need that much thematics, obviously. I think it could be interesting. Could also suck.
You,
Same with any game that comes out, so.
I have a brilliant idea now that you brought that up.
Okay, let me...
So there's this new type of game that's starting to kind of become a booming thing. I don't know if you ever heard of a game called Escape from Tarkov. Have you ever heard of that game?
Of course I've heard of that game.
That gameplay style is starting to make its way up because it's a more it's not battle royale, but it still is you have one life and you're done. But
Yeah.
it's all about going in, scavenging, finding gear, and evacing. And that is the whole point of the game. And honestly, with Last of Us, if they did something like that, just imagine how cool that would be. Like you go in to this map, there's AI in between, so it could be like, the wolves and all that, walk around with dogs and stuff. And then you have players too coming in. And you make a decently big map. Doesn't have to be battle royale size, but it needs to be decently big with verticality and stuff. And then just make it to where players come in, and then if they want to evac, they can evac. Just imagine that with Last of Us. If they did something with that, oh, that would be awesome. Honestly, I hope more games start to go towards that kind of gameplay style because there's not a lot really you could do that with. I mean, they got Hunt Showdown, but Hunt Showdown is a little different. But I would really like to see more games start to do Escape from Tarkov kind of stuff, especially for console, because I bet you there is an audience out there on console that would love to play that style of game. And Battlefield tried to do that, but it was really, really bad. Like really, really bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have the motivation that Tarkov does. Tarkov has all this stuff you can do and all this gear and putting together your character with armor and guns and stuff. And you didn't get that with Battlefield. So with this, I think it would be brilliant. It would be super cool to have The Last of Us where you could find, attachments and stuff for your weapons, or maybe you find enough bolts to upgrade your weapon. But then if you go in with that gear, if you die, you lose it all. So it's all a matter of you being smart and bringing in what gear you think is the best to do. And then maybe what they could do too, like Escape from Tarkov, is they let you play as I don't know, a wolf or whatever that other faction is, and you spawn in as one of them and you can try to, but you get like really basic gear. Like you don't get really crazy good gear, you get like basic weapons that aren't that strong. But if you go in that way, you're going in the safe route, and if you kill someone you can take their gear and leave with, kind of like Escape from Tarkov. I think that would be super cool. But I don't know, now that you brought that up, that makes me think that would be such a cool idea if they did that for that
Yeah,
multiplayer.
I think
That would be real
there's
playability.
obviously potential there. Naughty Dog is an amazing studio. There's another rumor that it's going to be free to play like Apex and like Warzone. So that's why I think people are leaning towards the Battle Royale or something akin to that instead of just a regular multiplayer mode where like you join in and you play them out. Now, did you ever play factions in the first game?
I did. I played on PS3 a little bit,
It was good.
and then
I
my
liked it
brother
a
had a
lot.
PS4, and I played it again. Yeah, the
Yeah,
gameplay was super fun.
it's very
It's way
different.
more fun than what Uncharted was, in my opinion.
Oh, I loved
So
Uncharted's
I thought it
multiplayer.
was
Are you
really cool.
kidding me? I played Uncharted
Yeah, I thought it was
multiplayer.
okay.
Oh, I loved Uncharted multiplayer. I played Uncharted 3 multiplayer more than anything than 4. But so getting we got a little off topic there. I actually think Battle Royale was in a rough spot a couple years ago. But if these things come through and if some quote unquote re-intervention of the genre takes place to spruce it up and to bring out these different things and these different styles like you were talking about with Escape and take some of the core concepts that Battle Royale has been a part of, I think it can actually thrive as its own secondary multiplayer genre. I think enough people like it. And so far, I think studios have done a decent job of actually making good iterations of it. Like, even Ubisoft made a good Battle Royale game. They abandoned it immediately after release. But from all I remember, that Hyperscape game was actually received quite well. And they said, hey, this game's actually good. Ubisoft didn't believe in it, so they gave up on it immediately. But that's not the game's fault. That's Ubisoft's fault. So I think developers have done a good enough job. In fact, I think they've done a pretty damn good job of, even when they come out with something that is just another battle royale game, it's made well enough that the genre hasn't died yet. A genre will die when a big time battle royale game comes out and it's made absolutely poorly. And that happens multiple times. You know?
Yeah, I think literally all they gotta do is just stay alive, and I don't think it ever would go. But it's a matter of if you evolve it and you put enough support in. Like the reason why, and I don't really like Fortnite, but I will 100% give them this is the fact that they constantly update those games like all the freaking time, and which always gives players something new to see and do and et cetera, et cetera. I think that's the one thing that keeps a battle royale game alive. And that's where Warzone has been struggling lately because instead of evolving, they've devolved and literally made the game worse than what it originally was, which makes me excited for Warzone 2. I hope it comes back and it's better than ever. Um, but I think Battle Royale will always be a thing. I don't think it'll ever be as popular as it used to be. I think it is still popular, but I think the popularity for Battle Royale has slowly dwindled down. But that's also because it's always the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
So
it's it's not PUBG days in terms of popularity, but also like I mean, I can go look up Steam numbers. I think Warzone, Apex, obviously Fortnite have thousands and thousands of players playing every single day, probably more than most other, if not all other games combined. Like we are
oh,
both
I agree.
you like multiplayer games more than I do, but we are both fairly, we're single player game players. We love single player narrative games. You like multiplayer games, as I said, more than I do. I still appreciate them and will play them from time to time, but that is not the reason I play video games. And I would argue, believe there's not a single player game that is ever more popular than a Call of Duty game or a Fortnite game, or Fortnite or Apex Legends or any of these other battle royale games when they come out. Granted, that be the genres and the style of games that we prefer more, but I mean, the best of them out there, God of War, Spider-Man. We're talking about 20 million units sold, and that's an amazing achievement for these single player games. And how many copies has Warzone sold? How many people play Apex on a day-to-day basis? Like, I think it's more healthy than people give it credit for, just because there's a lot of loud people that don't like Battle Royale anymore. But it says there's a lot of kids growing up that play Fortnite every single day. And I don't
Yeah.
think that's going to change anytime soon because that's what they enjoy. And if that's what they enjoy, then it should change. I
To
think
be
that's
honest, though, from what I've been hearing, kids pretty much have mostly moved away from Fortnite anymore.
it's
It's
just too many.
mostly now Roblox and Minecraft.
It's because there's too many damn tryhards, dude. In Fortnite, have you seen some of the building shit that people can do? Dude, that's ridiculous. Apparently,
I
Fortnite
think
is making a no building mode though.
they already did.
Did they? Okay,
Yep,
see,
it
I
already
see.
came out. Trust
I
me, there's trailers come out all the time now about it, which I literally kind of seen coming at some point because people were going to get tired of the building. Because yes, it's new and it's exciting, but within a month, that game already broke its whole thing where people are just building castles in 2 seconds, and it's just like it's dumb.
Yeah, so actually, now that see, I'm obviously very behind on that, but that's cool that it's just a battle royale game now. As I said, my favorite battle royale game is Warzone. I know, surprise, surprise. I'm a jaded Call of Duty fan, but I liked the game. I've always liked Call of Duty gameplay. I just don't like the idea of dying every 5 seconds in a multiplayer match. Now I know all a bunch of you out there will say, "Well, just get good and you don't die." Well, I don't have the time to get good. All right, I play too many other damn games. I'm out here playing The Last of Us Part 2 for 30 hours and enjoying myself and getting an amazing story, quote unquote. Could be argued, but I don't have time to put 400 hours into Warzone. I'm too busy playing Avengers. Oh, I forgot to say I did actually boot back up Avengers this week. I was just checking
Yeah.
in. I was checking in on some of the updates. They've actually done a lot to update the game. Nick Fury's back in it.
Oh, I thought he like. Is there like a whole? Oh, well, yeah. Wait, he comes back in some.
Yeah,
I haven't played the DLCs,
he's
so
he's in the DLCs, but now there's a whole new quest line with him. I mean, it's Avengers quest line, so it's just a checklist of things to do. But
hey,
it's technically a quest line with them. And they've updated the war table. They've updated quite a bit actually. So I'm probably gonna keep playing it. Just like I never intended to stop playing it until they quit making the game. I just want them to give us a stupid freaking timeline so I know what content. Like I want a new character. I have all my characters fully maxed. No, they're not mid
even
maxed or
Spider
anything.
Man.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man has been maxed for a long time, dude. Spider-Man was maxed a week after he came out. I have 300 plus hours in that game, dude. All right.
Jeez. I mean, I can't judge. I've had my fair share of games that I
Dude,
put a stupid amount of time in.
my Captain America's almost got a third of his hero levels done too.
Jeez.
All right. Do you
Yeah,
have anything else on Battle Royale? It's kind of a short conversation, but I honestly believe in it more now than I did when it first came out. I was very jaded on the idea when it first came out, especially with the first two, your PUBGs and your Fortnites. And then Warzone came out, and I
yeah.
played it.
Warzone
And
changed everything.
I played it. I'm like, all right, I see what this is. I see where people like this, and I see where this could go. And now, as you said, you mentioned Escape from Tarkov. We're getting now. How do I want to put this? We're getting different spins on the formula, and I think they're doing it in said from a quality sake. They're doing it with enough quality that it's here to stay until that quality drops. Like until, multiple big time games come out in the Battle Royale genre and they just suck, then I think studios will move away from it because they don't get the money from it and all that. But I honestly just don't see that happening anymore. Like, it is a fundamental pillar of how we play games nowadays, especially with the online element and the streaming elements and everything that's involved in the Battle Royale genre that's become its own little thing. I think it's one of those things that's here to stay for a long time.
I agree with that. I mean, yeah, we as long as I think more games keep evolving the formula and trying different things, I think it will always be a part of gaming, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see, especially what they do with Warzone. I hope they formula even more, and they do some really cool, unique things, and hopefully also the performance will be better. So
Well, it's not just the performance of the map doesn't fucking suck.
yeah, that's true. I was excited for that map too. I
Dude,
mean, I like
Caldera
World War
was,
II.
dude.
It was bad.
Oh my god, man! I was excited about it too. Like me and you both were excited. We got a whole friend group together and we played. And like a week later, it's like I don't really want to play this game no more. This map is awful, dude. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No.
Alright, well, let us know out there if you guys like the Battle Royale genre, what you guys like about it, what you don't like about it, if you play it, if you don't, and anything in between. We are going to move on now to the final couple topics of the show. First up is the review roundup for the week of March something through April something. I don't remember what the dates were, but on March 29th, Crusaders Kings 3 Console Edition came out on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S and scored an 87. World Rally Championship 10 came out on Nintendo Switch and actually got a 76, which is surprising. I did not think that game would be reviewed well on the Switch, but Ikaki came out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC and got a score of 63. So if you're excited about that game, I guess I'm sorry. Death Stranding Director's Cut came out on oh my god, on PC and got an 84. Then on March 31st, Moss Book 2 came out. Unfortunately for me and my fantasy team, this game is not getting reviewed. There's one review,
Oh,
which
wow.
confuses me because the first game got 74 critical reviews. This game right now has one. So, I'm hoping people start reviewing this or I just get 0 points on my fantasy.
That
That sucks.
sucks.
That's shitty,
That
man.
sucks a lot.
I'm like, what the heck? The first game was widely regarded as one of the better Switch games. Oh, sorry, better VR games. And I loved the first Moss. God, it was so good. So when this one comes out, I was very excited, one, to be able to play it, and two, to see the critical reception of it. But apparently, nobody cares about it right now. Which confuses
Huh.
the ever-living crap out of me. But anyway, finally, Weird West came out and got on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and X, and PC, and scored a 77. Logan, any responses to this stuff? I want to say something real quick. Weird West. The score is higher than most of the people that I trust on YouTube are giving it. I will want to point that out. There's a lot of people that I trust on YouTube that I watch that I trust their opinions on, especially Skill Up, and he did not like this game. So maybe
Wow.
there's some discord or dissonance between the score and the game, but we will see.
Dude, Weird West looks awesome actually. I watched a video about the dude explaining how the game works and what you do throughout and everything, and it looks really fun actually. I think that score is well worth honestly, sometime down the line, I am definitely want to get it. Like it looks super fun. I don't know why, but it just things that explaining how the game works, the openness of the game where literally you could do whatever you want and play however you want. I mean, you could straight up kill any NPC in the game. And it is just so open to how you want to play. You could straight up kill oops, I didn't mean to do that. You could straight up kill an entire town and then gangs will move in to take over the town. That is how open this game is with like everything you do connect and change how the world is done. Like you could do one thing in the game and then all of a sudden all these other types of those people, I'm not going to ruin it for people, will start to show up in the world either being good or bad. So your choices actually matter in the game and what you do. So honestly, it looks really cool. Like really really cool actually.
Yeah, the biggest complaint that I've
But
heard is the biggest complaint that I've heard from multiple different people, like Push Square, like I said, Skill Up, who I trust a lot, is yes, you can do all that. It is an immersive sim at its core, but none of it is really that depth or works that well. They said you could do all this stuff, but you don't need to in any way. And it's like they added all these different components from all these different genres and executed them in the most fundamental and core fashion, but didn't actually go above and beyond in any way that they did it. Now, this is not my opinion. This is the things that I've heard outside of it. I don't have an opinion on this game yet. I have not played it. So I'm just giving you what I have heard from other people. They said the biggest complaint
yeah,
is
definitely
that the game goes for a lot and doesn't execute as well as other games in, excuse me, the same genre.
hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I am really excited though for it. That is a one game that even last week when we talked about it, I looked it up. It looked really cool, and then I watched a few videos on it, and everyone I've watched said it's pretty dang cool. And the stuff that they were explaining and what you could do in the game and how it all connects, it looks really cool. And I like the art style a lot too. So yeah, again, it'll probably be something down the line, not anytime soon. Got a lot on my belt when it comes to gaming. But there is something I do look forward to trying it out
I mean, it's all
sometime down the line.
good as is. It's only like 20 hours. You can rip through it in a solid week of gaming.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to out this week. Pretty big week, in my opinion. On April 5th, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga finally gets released on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. To much praise, hopefully. MLB The Show 2022 comes out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. On April 7th, Chinatown Detective Agency comes out on Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Chrono Cross The Radical Dreamers Edition comes out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Godfall Unlimited Edition comes out on PS5, just PS5, sorry. PS5, Xbox Series X and X, and PC. Sherlock Holmes The Devil's Daughter comes out on Nintendo Switch. Slipstream comes out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. And the House of the Dead remake comes out on Nintendo Switch. To you, sir.
As you probably heard at the beginning of this podcast, I'm extremely excited for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I have been insanely excited for this game, and I've definitely been doing a lot of keeping myself away for as much spoilers as possible because I don't want to ruin everything. I mean, I've definitely seen a few things, but it was most people explaining some of the things you can do, so it didn't really ruin anything for me. It just makes me more and more excited for this game, and I cannot wait. I literally can't wait for that game. And then also, I'm pretty excited for the House of the Dead remake. I don't know if I'll get it day one. It'll probably be something down the line when it's like cheaper. I'll get it, but I like House of Dead a lot. It's like one of my favorite arcade shooters out there, and it's pretty cool. I was looking up how the controls are working and everything, and they're going to be doing gyro aiming, which I'm curious on how it's going to work. So I'm curious to see how well it works, and I'm excited to see what all new things they add to it. So I'm pretty excited for it.
I
What
got.
about you?
I just thought about something. Why is it gyroscope controls? Why is it said like that? But we call it euros in the food.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's spelled the same way.
That makes no sense.
Why isn't it Euroscope reviews? Or sorry, Euroscope controls. Anyway, I just thought about that when you were saying it. I was literally thinking, I was like, gyro, euro. Anyway, yes, very excited about Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Cannot wait. I will be getting it. Also, like Logan said, we talked about the House of Dead remake. Surprise! I think that came out last week. We learned we were getting that. At least we learned. You and me. Maybe other people knew about it. But also, MLB The Show 2022, always one of the best-selling games of the year. People are very excited about it. I won't be getting this year's. I normally get every couple years. I don't buy them year in and year out. But
You get it on Game Pass.
you can get it
On
on
your
Game
PC?
Pass, yeah, or you can get it on Switch, which I don't know if that game how that game runs on Switch, but
Have you seen the gameplay of it?
no, I
It's
don't.
rough.
I don't
It
feel
is.
a need to look on it. But in
If
other
you want a
news,
PS2 game,
well, I'm gonna get PS2 games because I'm gonna get the premium edition, the
yeah.
the
Well,
best
you
deal in
enjoy
gaming.
paying that.
Hey, but you know what? In one day, you should finally have some points on your Fantasy Critic League. How excited are
I
you about
know,
that?
finally. I'm very
Yeah.
excited. Dude, it's did you see the list? It's like 3 games in a row that I'm gonna be getting. So yeah. Curious. I hope all of them score very well.
Yeah, man, you're really excited about this Evil Dead game, huh?
No, I put $1 on it. So I'm not excited, but I
Well,
feel like it's gonna score decently well.
okay, I was like, you think it's gonna score good? Yeah, my
I think
next
it'll
game.
score in 80 or 78, somewhere in that area. So
Yeah. I said I'm waiting. I'm not adding any more games until E3. I want to see what comes out. I got 6 slots. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only got 5 slots. I got 5 slots. So I don't want to spend any more because, we don't know what games are going to come out, what games are going to get announced at E3. So DJ's over here just fucking putting everything on that he can, man. He's just loading up. To be fair, most of his games are hitting pretty good. He's done a pretty good job so far.
yeah,
He hasn't killed it like Worthy has, but hey, Breath of the Wild getting eliminated, that's going to help us out quite a bit in trying to fight this dude.
yes, it is.
And he's also guaranteed to lose points because of Sparks of Hope is definitely going to score over 70. So don't know why he counterpicked that. I'm still convinced that I'm going to gain points off Dune Spice Wars because I don't know how that game comes out and it's any good at all.
Yeah, still wondering when that's gonna come out.
Well, if it gets delayed, you get guaranteed 0 points because you can't drop it. So, because I counterpicked it. So,
That's fair. At least I won't be losing points,
yeah, it's true.
right?
Yeah, but you won't be getting any points. So that's one spot that you effectively cannot use. I am just mad at at Moss, dude. I'm like, why is this game not getting reviewed? Like, if you go on OpenCritic and you type it in, the first one, 74 critic reviews. Second one, 1. I'm like, why? Do people just not care to cover this game? So I may get 0 points on a game that theoretically should score pretty well based off the first one. And from everything I've heard, it's more the same with, a better story. So, and the first one scored an 86.
Yeah, I'm curious someone if they're ever gonna.
I'm
That's
pissed.
weird.
I'm very mad. Dude, I keep seeing these freaking ads for Zoa anywhere. Don't ever look up anything on your computer, man.
No, hey, the other day I was talking to someone at my work about. He was talking to me about the old Batman movies, and I kid you not, right when I got on all I've seen. I've seen like 3 videos straight about old Batman movies and their clips. So yeah, Google straight up listens to everything
Yeah,
you do.
the internet's a creepy place, man. Let me tell you.
It is.
All right. Anything else, my man? Anything else in these games?
Nope.
Hey,
That's about it.
Godfall finally coming to Xbox. You gonna play it?
No,
Why not? It looks really good.
I didn't. No, I'm good. I mean, I have it on PlayStation for free, so
No. You have the Challengers Edition, which only includes the endgame content, doesn't include the story.
that's gross.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
dumb.
still don't want to try
It is so stupid.
it.
I do kind of want to get this game when it's like deep sale, just to play through the story because it's a pretty looking game. What the? Just knocked on my window. It is a pretty looking game, and I just want to play through the short story just to see what it is. But no, oh, we missed a game on the review roundup. Terrabane. So for those of you that care, Terrabane came out on Nintendo Switch and PC on April 1st, and it's got an 80. So there you go.
Hey.
Okay, well, I don't know if I would.
I'm really excited for Lego though.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm so excited.
Dude, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. I might stay up till just because I really want to play it. Like I really want to play this Lego Star Wars game so badly. So I'll let you know if I play it for even just an hour, maybe 2 hours, or maybe I'll stay up till 2 in the. I'm feeling it.
Well, we can get on PlayStation and talk on Wednesday. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna go.
Amy will be playing it with me though. So
Oh, she will.
yeah, I mean it'd be a fun game to play with. It's super well. It's pretty simple, and she'll get the gist of it. And she really wants to play as General. She literally cannot wait, and I'm like, so that'll also help.
Hey, please do not forget to play The Wolf Among Us. I want to.
I can't promise anything, man. I
my
want
God.
to play it, but
It's not.
it's either that.
It's only like you've already played the first episode, so you're talking about another 8 hours or so.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not like I'm asking you to fucking put 50 hours into a game. Although you're about to put 50 hours into a
all
game.
I need to do is I will tell you these at least the next 3 days. I am not touching any other game but Lego.
Oh no,
So
you're good. Yeah,
even
no,
Elden Ring won't even
understand
be
that.
getting it. Just Lego.
Well, I'm gonna go after we get done with this outro here. I'm gonna go play some more Shadow. I was actually really digging it. So, all right.
Yeah, you have to let me know when you beat that game if the ending's any good.
I will. Yeah, because it's the ending of the reboot trilogy. So, and I can only hope that after Crystal Dynamics gets done fucking off with Avengers, they go back and make some more stuff. All right. Anything else, dude? Let's get out of here.
Nope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the show. Everyone who has either been watching or listening, we always want to take this time and thank you. Without your support, we could not do what we'll be doing here. And please help us continue to grow by telling everyone how awesome we are, or I guess how cringy we are, terrible we are. If you don't like us here at the XP Podcast, we would really appreciate it. Logan, go to you.
As always, thank you guys for all listening. Hope you're all having a great day. Either, obviously working out, at work, grinding as always. Just always come by and, tell anybody if you really like our show. We always appreciate you guys listening. And as always, if you would be willing to help us, we have our Patreon linked below of our YouTube video. Obviously, you don't have to send us any money. We're just happy that you stop by to listen, and we hope you enjoy the show. And as always, again, double shout out to Logan Leffler for being our premium Patreon member.
All right, and with that, everyone, I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See you guys.
See ya.